Hello and welcome to Schnozzcast episode 83 for Friday, July 24th, 2020. Did I get the number right?
Oh, you did.
I literally had to go.
Good job.
I literally had to go back to the artwork that Nick put out this week just to check.
Just to make sure?
Just now. I had to.
I think that was the fourth week, and the three prior you got wrong.
Couldn't you just look at the editing that you did from last week's episode?
Are you trying to make me feel shitty?
Yes.
Well done, sir. How's everybody?
Good.
Well, we're going to go around the table and make sure we introduce our players. So this is Bob, and to my left, sorry, should I go slower?
No, you're good.
This is Bob to my left.
We don't have to slow down the entire thing.
Captain Kayak.
Oh, hello.
Nicholas Bader.
Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Whoa.
That's early.
Whoa.
That's an early one.
Wow.
It's an early snort.
And directly across from him, Mr. Cory Selesky.
Oh, hey.
And welcome back to the Schnozzcast, Danielle Finn.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, that caught me off guard.
I guess so.
I'll tell you what's going to catch me off guard. Temperature's about to go down, so.
Finally got my Christmas blanket. I'm all good.
Sleigh bells.
It's wrapping around the bottom half?
Yeah.
Okay. So for a little bit of housekeeping, Cory, I'd like to let you know that we now have a badge from Podbean that if we really had a website, we could put on there, but we can use it for other purposes. A badge for 1,000 downloads.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah. I think legitimately we have more than that, but I'm not sure what the next tier is.
That air conditioning is really it's really kicking in the background.
It's like someone was standing on the dryer, which they turned on to turn on the microwave and the air conditioning also above the dryer.
The microwave.
The microwave.
How much would it cost to make it into an actual badge so we can carry it around?
Not much. Probably less than you spent on a kayak today.
Not sure if you guys know. 1,000 downloads. Heard of a little operation called the Schnozzcast?
So I will send that to you.
Yes.
And we could put it on
All the social media.
Yeah, all the social medias. Also, I have submitted our podcast to Pandora and to TuneIn Radio. So I heard back from TuneIn already. It should be probably another couple weeks.
Did they say thanks but no thanks?
No, they said congratulations. And the TuneIn Radio.
The TuneIn Radio. Now they're going to say no.
The TuneIn's radios work with Alexa. So now you can do that officially. You probably already could through some sort of third-party workaround.
Algorithm.
Exactly. But now, officially, we're Alexa supported on TuneIn. I haven't heard back from Pandora. Apparently, it's a very long process for them to approve, but that would be pretty cool.
Not bad.
Yeah, for all you Pandora listeners out there, you should be able to get the Schnozzcast very, very soon. We will keep you updated. From your side, Cory, any housekeeping you want to add to?
Don't believe so, except for the fact that if we do have an issue with the audio, we now know how to go to a backup and be able to fix that issue.
So I'm sensing a theme here of you guys trying to make me feel shitty for things
that obviously wasn't. I mean, there was no way we could have been able to tell that the audio was not going to be good for the first several minutes. You know what?
I have to fall on the sword, right? Audio is my thing. So if episode 78 was screwed up at the beginning and I needed to get a backup, a plan B from Cory, then that's on me. But as Cory just mentioned, he saved the day in Nick-like fashion.
That's my thing.
That's what I do.
Yep. He nicked the shit out of that situation and provided me with a WAV file for the output. So thanks to you. Also, thanks, Cory, for the recommendation for this.
Oh, you got it.
Very nice little, Not only did it solve my problem of being able to...
The mag mount?
Which is in my car, but also the QI disc that's on my nightstand. I was having to take the case off to charge the phone.
Oh, yeah, you can use the magnetic charging.
Awesome. Utterly awesome. So thanks again for that.
No problem. I mean, hey, you're the one that paid for it, so.
I did.
Now I bought it for you.
But I'd already gone way too many days with a substandard phone case. So
I agree on that.
And if you want to know what kind of phone case I purchased, send an email to schnozzcast@gmail.com, and we'll tell you.
Or where, Danielle?
No.
Well played, Danielle. She's like, I'm not falling for that shit. She may have been out for a couple weeks.
1, because it's bullshit. 2, because I don't remember what I said.
I'm not new to this,
Yes to both of those things. So I've started using OneNote to try to capture all these things, and I've sort of worked on it all throughout the week. So in my idle chit-chat section, Cory, I meant to ask you about sort of a check-in with how's your progress going. Tell the listeners how your progress is going on the reading assignments that you got from Mr. Todd Dillon.
Oh, not bad. I have moved on to the second book now.
Okay, what's the second book all about?
He was kind of so the recommendation. The first one was goals, which we've discussed.
Mm-hmm.
The second was either networking for dummies, which was his first recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one following that was cybersecurity for dummies.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I trust Todd's word and take what he says, at face value. But I decided to switch it up a little, only due to the fact that I got two little leads on a job in the cybersecurity field that I would need that knowledge before the networking knowledge. So hopefully the cybersecurity book helps me through that and can hopefully have some good news for you guys here in the future.
Okay. I would say that I really don't know a ton about cybersecurity, but I got to believe that networking is going to be part of that.
Yeah, the two people that I talked to that are currently in the field, they said that networking is a part of it, but it's not a huge part. Right. As a matter of fact, the one guy that I had the longest conversation with, he even said he's like, I know the bare minimum of networking of what I need to do to get my job done.
Yeah.
He's like, in all honesty, I don't really care for it, and I'm like,
right.
That's really crazy because I know a guy. that he loves. That's all he does. That's his main thing.
Yeah.
He just deals in networking.
Right.
And so, but it was cool because it was kind of eye opening to the fact that even though it all kind of falls under one umbrella, there's so many different niche things that you can do and be very very good at and enjoy. Mm-hmm. That all fall under that IT category rather than just doing one job and that's all you can do. So it's all the conversations I've had lately with a lot of the people I've talked to are been very, very good and motivational and educational. So
sweet.
Hopefully that helps move everything forward.
Yep. I just wanted to check in with you on that because I'm sure that our eager listeners are dying to know how you were doing.
Oh, yes. My personal life is, I'm sure they're beckoning call.
On display.
Would you say it's also inspirational?
Very inspirational.
Educational, motivational, and inspirational?
Simultaneously?
I was trying to think of any other.
You do have a theme that when you have words that sound similar, you do say them twice on a podcast sometimes.
I try. It's motivational.
All right, so that's it for housekeeping for the episode. Do you want to jump into booze news?
Sure.
Am I the only one? Does anybody else have anything?
No, I do have one.
Okay.
I do not.
You want to go or you want me to go?
You can go ahead, but I believe we have a little audio clip to play for that, don't we?
And now it's time for booze news.
Thank you, sir. So I've got a couple. One of them I think Cory's got queued up, but they just released 4K video from the Mars rovers. There were 3 of them that were dispatched to Mars, and thus far, all of the footage that they've shot has been, standard definition, but no one's really processed it or mastered it in 4K. So they released that now, which I thought was really, really cool. So if you're trying to cue that up, Cory, we could take a quick look at it. I think it's like a 10-minute clip, but if you go to YouTube and search for Mars in 4K, you should be able to find it. For those Marsophiles, Mars aficionados.
We don't need audio for
Mars bars? No.
Okay.
In fact, I've listened to the audio for probably the first 3 or 4 minutes, and it's not worth listening to.
Fair enough.
It's some guy going, "Behold the Gale crater."
They couldn't even get Morgan Freeman to do this?
No.
They got Mars money, man. Come on.
That's not Mars.
They had Mars money.
That's to Crete.
So it's kind of fascinating how, I mean, obviously it's going to remind you of something on Earth.
Oh, computers were harmed.
So that's a good indication of the kind of audio you're going to get if you listen to it. So,
all right, well, then no audio. We
not
go.
too good.
That looks like water.
Yeah, so I thought it was fascinating. I'd never seen it before. I'd never even really seen the standard definition footage from like Rover or.
I was gonna say, I think the last any footage or even photographs I saw from Mars were black and white.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the 4K stuff.
You know, they've obviously named a lot of the areas in which the landers either touched down or traversed, and obviously we're looking at tracks there. But
I don't like the idea that one's called Rub Al-Khali.
Why is that?
It's kind of creepy.
Creepy?
Who's Al-Khali? Why are we rubbing him?
He likes it.
Told you it was to Crete.
So it looks pretty inviting.
It is oddly Earth-like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so we could continue to watch that for the whole 10 minutes, but we're not going to do that. But suffice to say, head over to YouTube and search for Mars in 4K if you are so inclined. The other story I got, Cory, is there's a tourism board for Iceland that has apparently placed 7 or 8 different speaker boxes around the countryside in different parts of Iceland.
Okay.
And then they networked all of them and put it on a website and offered viewers. Fight it, Danielle. Fight it.
I am.
Fight it. Offered viewers the option to click on a button, pick one of those 7 or 8 boxes, and then it'll use your microphone on your laptop or your phone to then record your scream and then play it.
You motherfucker.
What? Is that your story?
It was one of them that I had. It took me a second too, because this was stuff that I looked up last episode, and I just had it in a queue ready to go, and this was one of them.
My bad. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I trust me. I have one that's gonna hit right home with you. So.
Perfect. So at any rate, it's on cntraveler.com, and they want travelers to de-stress by screaming. So they've created this website. You can basically go to let it out. So you basically just tap on the website, and then just scream. Thank you, sir. Scream into your laptop, and it. I have no proof that it actually happens, but supposedly it then broadcasts it through the speaker box on Iceland.
Or you just sit in front of your laptop and scream into it like a bumbling idiot.
So you can listen to other people's recorded screams, which is really kind of off-putting. And I imagine that they were recorded and then played through the speakers, but I really don't know because there's no webcam on the speaker in real time
to show.
Yeah, so I can hear the scream. So I'm kind of taking them at their word, but it didn't cost anything. So for free, I'm just going to assume my scream is going to echo across the landscape of Iceland.
Of course.
Which I'm totally fine with. So if you're like me and you want your screams to be international rather than just in your head or in your own bathroom, then do a search for. Actually, you can go to. I'll direct you right there. LooksLikeYouNeedIceland.com.
Oh,
is the website.
Now that I think of it, I do need Iceland.
Right. So that's what I got, Cory. All you.
So, well, to kind of circle back to last episode, since Danielle was not here, that kind of touches on what you had last week for Booze News with the window swap.
Swap, yeah. Not
so.
snap.
So first and foremost, Bob had me looking
for a good 10 minutes.
Window slap.
A solid 10 minutes
Yeah.
for what he told me was windowsnap.com.
Yeah.
Windows Snap.
Yes, and he explained it as is
in detail for 10 minutes.
That you can set up a webcam in your home and it look out a window, and it streams live 24/7, and people can go to this website and view that view that you put up. So I'm going round and round. I'm like, oh, apparently they took the website down because something must have happened on it that some guy jumped in front of one of the cameras and feverishly started jerking off, and so they shut the website down. after 10 minutes, Bob's like, oh.
Deal and
He's like, did I say Windows Snap? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, it's WindowsSwap.com.
Oh, that's different.
I was like, okay. So we ended up going on there.
oh, that's different.
That's a whole nother name.
That's a
So
horse of
Danielle,
a different color.
guess who's going to have one of those windows?
Well, what I was thinking was,
What is it though? I don't know what it is.
It's a website where you point a camera out your window and put your information in what city you live in and stuff.
Cory could do that at your house.
And it keeps going all the time. And basically these people, like, you could pull up the website on this computer or this TV, and it cycles through. You can't control it. You just either say next or you leave it. And you can just watch.
Oh, out somebody else's window?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in Italy or
okay.
hills in Sweden.
And
But
I-
someone
Watch the
someone
weird
in
guy
Iceland,
there.
someone in Iceland could randomly pull up, and all of a sudden it's like Dearborn, Michigan.
Dearborn, Michigan. What are all these little figurines on the window?
Gotcha.
so, okay, and recently we've noticed a gentleman
Let's
that,
do this real quick.
okay.
Oh, yep.
Sounds like it's going to, when I heard it
Hold on, real
recently,
quick.
a gentleman. I'm like,
Please, if you don't have one yet, it's Friday night.
Starting out early.
Yep, it's 11 p.m. Eastern. So pour yourself a little drink and join us. We're gonna do a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, much better warm than if it was Fireball.
oh, yeah.
True.
Oh god.
Not according to Danielle.
It was good at first. It was the end of it.
That's what she said.
Oh,
Cory, you are on fire today.
You know.
Getting kudos left and right, saving the day, and the snappy one-liners. Keep going with your story.
Tip of the hat.
Save the
Tip of the
day.
cap.
How did the alcohol get here?
Tip of the cap. Well, okay. He saved the day before you saved the day. Happy?
Yeah.
There you go.
So we've recently known this gentleman that stands outside on. We have a street that kind of dead ends right into our block that we can see from the front window, and what was it, about a week ago?
I think so.
I woke up and I looked out the front window and I could see him standing out on the.
You were sleeping in front of the front window?
Yes,
Okay.
that's where I sleep.
Right.
Right up on top of the couch.
I just wrap myself up in
That's
the
right.
curtains. And then I get to see the sunrise every
That's
day.
right. That's what wakes me up. Warm sunshine on my face.
The sunshine of 1 p.m.
Corey's like a
That's
tabby
right.
cat. Lay right on the heater vent.
Tabby Stallion.
Fall off sometimes.
Yeah.
So I see him standing out there and didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, just a guy standing on the corner waiting for something.
There's a guy there all the time.
What's this
But-
guy doing?
Then I go to leave for work, and as I shut the door behind me, he like snapped around, saw me, and like started jogging down the street. And I'm like,
Toward you
this
or
is,
away from
no,
you?
away from me.
Okay, good.
And I'm like, oh shit, this
Toward
isn't
you,
good.
bad. Away from you?
Because he's
good.
going, oh my God, look at that. That cat looks like it has mange.
How'd that cat get out?
I mean, it's hairy, but just the weirdest spots.
So
Patchy for a cat.
I get
Patchy,
in
will
the, I
say.
get in the car and I start backing up, and I see him back on the corner.
You're in the car now?
Yeah, that's you leave the house and you go to your car, and
But you were sleeping in the window wrapped in curtains.
no, that was a hypothetical. There was no actual sleeping in the window.
But you said you woke up and looked out the window.
Yeah, I woke up, walked into the living room,
Woke up.
woke up. Yes.
So you
This
woke
is the part
up,
of the podcast
you're-
in which we poke holes in everybody else's stories.
You're rubbing sleep out of your eyes. The guy snaps back, apparently out of a window because window snap is a thing, and
Slop.
takes off running. And you jump in the car to pursue him?
No,
or?
no.
No.
You weren't listening to the entire story.
He
clearly.
started running away.
Yeah.
You got in the car.
I went down to the driveway, got in the car, started backing up to head to work. And as I look in my rearview mirror, I can see him standing
sometime
back.
later.
He went back
Yeah.
to the same spot?
He's standing at the same spot again.
So he jogged away, and then while you were
And then
back
came
up,
back.
came back. He's like,
So this is really going to annoy me if I just head to work and leave him standing there. So
forget about the safety of my significant other still sleeping in the
Oh,
house.
no, I was at work.
she was at work already.
Oh, all right.
So I circled back around the block, and sure enough, he's walking back down that same block again, and he goes up to one of the first houses right off the corner. And I'm like, okay, that's really weird, but not going to think too much of it. And then so finally, all day at work, it was just weighing on my mind, and I finally shot her a text. I'm like, hey, anytime the Ring camera pops up, just give it a look if you can. I said, and I gave her the rundown of what I just told you guys.
Just to
that's
sufficiently freak her out for the entire day.
basically.
Okay, well done.
So you never found anything out?
Well, now he's been out there just about every single day
What is he doing?
This is the first time I've seen him, but I mean, I'm usually gone by the
Maybe he's jogging.
Is he having a smoke? Is he on his phone? What is he doing?
He'll be on his phone.
There might be something going on with him. I think he clearly lives over there, but
Right.
I feel like there could be.
What's going on?
I've got one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that's going on, person?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a kid who lives around the block. So when I look across my street, he lives around the block from that house.
Okay.
But he's special. Mm-hmm. And every day, unless it's snowing, he puts on his bike helmet, gets on his bike, and he goes around the corner to about 4 houses in from the end of the block when I look across the street, and then circles back again. And then that shit happens all day for like 10 hours straight until his mother calls him in and the kid's like 24.
Yeah, this guy. He's like a grown man.
Probably like 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've kind of been noticing that, and like I said, at first it kind of freaked me out, but then
they have to be new, because I've never seen him before.
Right.
And I've lived there for 3.5 years. I've never seen him before.
Okay.
yeah. So that would be our window swap view.
Yeah.
Well, you went a long way for that.
Yeah.
You brought it all
I was
back,
in it for the long haul.
You circled back.
You have a lot of Nick tendencies tonight.
I was like, that was
Saving the day.
Getting kudos.
Telling a story where you have to leave a breadcrumb trail behind you to figure out how to circle back.
Yep, the only thing you haven't done yet is make Danielle laugh. That was me.
Oh, that's true. Stop taking all my material.
It was
unintentional.
unintentional, absolutely.
But the actual booze news story being, and Bob, like I said, this is right up your alley.
Okay.
Dancing robots replace fans at Japanese baseball game.
Nope.
Yes, sir.
No.
With their stadium devoid of fans due to coronavirus restrictions, Japanese baseball team Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have come up with an imaginative replacement.
Soft Bangkoks?
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, we can go with that.
Myoka Soft Bangkoks?
I mean, they're Japanese, so.
These are the Myoka Soft Bangkoks.
Oh, here's even even better one for you. Before their most recent Nippon professional baseball game against the Rakuten Eagles on Tuesday.
The who?
The Rakuten Eagles.
The Rakuten Eagles.
They just decided to throw an English word in there?
Nick, the Rakuten Eagles.
Yes. Being the sports guy you are, you should know all about Japanese baseball.
No idea.
Bob, here you go. Over 20 robots danced to the team's fight song on a podium in an otherwise empty stadium.
How many?
Have we learned
20.
nothing?
20?
Have we learned nothing from the Terminator?
20 dancing robots?
Robots are taking over
Robots?
Japan.
2 different robots, including...
Hold on. What are taking over Japan?
Robots. Have you never listened to Dave and Chuck the Freak?
They're like frog robots.
They call them robots.
Okay.
On there all the time.
So you're going to perpetuate the poor grammar of the Dave and Chuck the Freak show?
Yes.
You need to make up your own poor grammar on this show.
Yes. Robots.
Why don't you just switch up a little bit and Danielleify it so that you can trademark it?
Because I like robots.
Just say riboats.
No, I don't like that.
No.
You call them
I don't like that, sir.
menage bots.
Pass.
So 2 different robots, including the humanoid robot Pepper and others on 4 legs like a dog, stamped and shimmied in a choreographed dance that is usually performed by the Hawks fans before the games in the whatever the name of their dome is.
What is the name?
Oh, yeah, come on.
Danielle, what's the name?
Give us the name, Danielle.
Hiragashu.
Give us a try. Give it a try. Come on. We won't have to do Danielle's word box today.
Oh, yes, we will.
No, we have to because we have a graphic for it now.
Yeah, which I'm not a fan of either.
Dude, there's no graphic I could have done that you would have been like, God, that's
Come on,
amazing.
Cory. Give it a shot.
Let's go with the Fukuoka.
Perfect.
I'm sorry?
Well done.
The Fukuoka.
I think we know the name of the episode.
That's got to be it.
So yeah, and then they have pictures. So the robots also had iPads attached to their chests that had
they didn't.
actual faces of people.
Okay.
So creepy.
Yeah.
Look, first they start with the stamping and the shimmying.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, laser beams shoot out of their eyes.
They burn
and
down
kill
the
us
stadium.
all.
Yeah. Burn down the stadium.
I'm not a fan of this idea.
So there you go,
Supposed to be
sir.
our loyal servants.
Have we learned nothing?
Clearly.
No.
Welcome to 2020.
Danielle, you over the last 3 weeks, you missed a couple of, it's a bad pun, but a killer robot story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what Bob thinks they're going to do.
Yeah.
He's not a fan.
I'm going to assign
I
all of
can
you
notice
Black
that.
Mirror episode that will freak you the fuck out.
Best.
You're already freaked out. You don't even want to watch it.
No.
That's my point. Point taken.
I know there's been
Success.
so many news stories about robots doing people's
Yeah.
jobs and all of that stuff. I'm
It's
like,
not even yes, the robot's doing people's jobs, like the Flippy, the one that does the hamburgers.
uh-huh.
I'm like, that's great, but at some point, that robot's going to want to use that spatula as a weapon against all of the humans. That's not even the scary part. The scary one is the robots that can run as fast as a cheetah. Can
Oh, yeah, fuck that.
climb and leap, and I'm like,
I
all you
do
got to do
not
is put a
wanna be
laser on that
chased by
robot,
a
and we're all
robot.
fucked. And then all of a sudden, there's like 70,000 of them, and that's all she wrote.
Right.
When they start making other robots like themselves,
Yeah. Thank you.
that's the problem.
So you're on board with this idea?
Once the ones that can run like cheetahs can communicate with the ones in Ford Motor Company that build the trucks and say, yeah, stop building trucks and build us.
Yep. And that's the moment where they become self-aware, like with Cyberdyne Systems and Terminator. And that's the end. That's it. I'm just warning all of our listeners, this is what's coming if we continue to allow this robot propagation
what's coming.
to continue.
Coming October 2020.
I mean,
Pumpkin.
honestly, it might be a welcome distraction in
Pumpkin
October
robots.
2020 for us
Well,
to
I mean,
worry
we'll
about
bring it
robot
in
invasion.
October. October is, Halloween and all that. So
Yeah, it's also the month before the election, so we need something to get our minds off of the insanity.
Exactly.
Let's worry about a robot invasion.
Pumpkin robots.
Or perhaps giant ticks invading the state of Michigan.
Or
Or
not a fan of ticks.
murder hornets.
Which after he posted it, you
Yeah.
tagged us in it. Somebody's comment was like, "Who would have known 2020 was full of Corona and Lime?"
There it is.
groan.
There it is.
Yeah, Danielle was very, very
I thought it
tickled
was
about that
funny.
one.
Groan.
I
can't
pulled
re-
up. I go, "Hey,
Oh,
read this."
congratulations. You did make her laugh.
That's true.
Inadvertently.
I was in the middle
prior to the show.
I was in the middle of reading something in whatever store we were
We
in.
were in Walmart.
She's like, "Hey,
Cory.
hey, look!" And I'm
Cory.
like, "Coronavirus and Lyme."
What periodical
Oh, okay.
periodical
I was
or
like, "You get it? You get it?"
what periodical or book of poems were you reading at the time where she interrupted?
We were in Walmart. It couldn't
It was
be
the back of Smail Mail's cousin, Flail Ale.
Mail.
What?
Wow.
Another
Really reaching tonight, Nick.
another-
Really reaching.
another what are they called? Funkos. Yeah. Yeah, you're in Walmart. I could only imagine what you were fucking reading.
There were no good Funkos at this Walmart.
Wasn't nutrition facts.
Oh, that old Walmart is dead to me now. Cory, sorry, was that the end or did we cut you off?
Yeah, no, that was it.
Okay.
Japan apparently now has
Dancing robots.
taken their fans and replaced them with dancing robots.
Sons of bitches.
Bastards.
All right. Well, I think that's booze news then.
All right.
This one?
Yeah, the green one on the right.
And now it's time for booze news.
Thinking back in hindsight, I should have just I should have given you a script where you wouldn't say the and now part. Then I could use it for the opener and the closer.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Lesson learned.
If only we had the person that created it right here.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned.
It's just not fair.
All right. Cory, what was that you said you wanted to do because you had a graphic for it for the week?
I believe. That's why don't we have that sound effect on there?
Oh, we can because he just made the sound, and I'll clip that bitch out.
Please do.
I will.
Please
do you want me
do.
to send it directly to you or just put it on the board?
You can just put it on the board. That works because now everything that comes through the board is going.
That
in the
seems like
video
a very
anyways.
short sound to occupy an entire button. We may have to workshop this over the next week or two
Okay.
Yeah.
for a longer something that Nick would be comfortable in doing in
Which
his
is just about
inimitable
anything.
style.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah. You're dancing bear.
I'm just saying we're all here trying to work on a good product. I'm more than willing to put on a button, but I feel like
How about
Nick,
I
Nick
do
knows he can do better than
I
that.
do the Blues Clues noise, and
Sure.
one of you guys does the intro to it.
Okay.
Does it have to be sung, or can it just be like a?
No, it doesn't have to be sung.
Oh, good.
But you could
Then
do.
we could do that.
You could do like one of your best.
No, you have to sing
Kermit,
it.
No,
Kermit the
no,
Frog.
no.
And
We don't
now
need to-
it's time for one of Danielle's words.
my Brooklyn, my Brooklyn con man accent.
No. Remember it was what was it? The
What? See now he's
Remember the
being,
ice?
he's being bitten by the fact that he doesn't never listen to the episodes.
the
after
ice.
we
Remember
record
the
it.
ice luge?
I remember an ice luge.
We were gonna build a station up in the kitchen. It was gonna be a station. This is the station. Remember we went on for like 35 minutes
did.
doing our worst John Travolta.
Yeah, some might say that prevented us from actually accruing listeners early on.
All right, so it's time for Danielle's word box. Oh, I love that graphic there on the.
Oh, let me put it back up because I had it on there and took it
Oh,
down.
I can see it.
Okay.
It's back on there.
I like it except for the picture.
I like it. Oh, I see why she didn't like the picture.
It makes my mouth look weird, and it's like it's like 4 or 5 years old.
Your mouth looked weird.
Yeah, my teeth look weird.
Don't you have the same mouth and teeth that you had 5 years ago?
Yeah, but
It's just
really old picture.
cartoonified.
I know,
Bob,
I don't
Bob
like it.
also did not care for his cartoonified version of himself.
No, it
The
looks
one that we
weird.
did.
I don't
he was
care.
like-
I don't care
Oh,
for the
yeah,
actual
yeah.
picture. So
The one we did, he's like, look, what was he saying? He's like, oh yeah, everyone else looks great. Look at me.
I remember he did bitch about that for a while.
He's like, I look like I'm gonna rape you guys after this photo. He was like,
I'm not sure that's a direct quote.
yeah, I'm pretty sure
No,
it was.
I don't think
Because
so.
you had this like kind of like this, Bob. Look at this.
it was,
Like,
it was
like
a
really creepy
it was a
smile.
rapey kind of a yeah. Which wasn't in the original picture, but somehow the cartoonification
He goes, look at you guys. You both got really nice,
gave me like a rapey vibe.
really nice smiles. Even Cory's smiling. Cory never smiles.
Yeah.
And then look at me. But you
Kind of like,
remember
oh, yeah.
we were sitting down and your arms were over our shoulders and you had this smile.
like
You
I was
know?
about to throw you in the back of a panel van.
He goes, you look like I'm sitting here having dinner with my sons or something.
Weren't we doing Danielle's word box? Can we get back to that?
I think he said too. He's
Why
like,
are you doing it?
he's
Give it over to her.
I know.
I think he said too. He's like, can't you crop me so I don't look like I'm standing above you guys?
Yeah,
Don't throw it. That's
it's closed. You're good.
Nice
I know,
catch.
but throwing it here.
Don't throw it over mission control. Is that what you're saying?
So if you're gonna throw it over his stuff. So if it hits his stuff, then it.
No.
If
All
it
right,
hits, if
Cory-
it hits any of
Cory-
his stuff, we won't be able to
Cory, we
get any-
haven't done this in a while. Sorry, Nick. We haven't done this in a while. Can you give the listeners kind of like a brief, quick recap of what we're doing here?
I want a word.
Well, Danielle picks a word out of Danielle's word box, and usually it's a tongue twister of sorts or a long drawn out word that Danielle can
This
put
isn't a fucking word.
Yes.
Danielle can put a little wind behind.
This is not a word.
That's how you know
Who
it's
the
going to
fuck
be a good
says
segment,
that?
Nick.
I want a definition of the word.
I can give you that. Yeah, say it first.
I wish the graphic was up on the TV screen so we could all see it.
Oh,
I'm glad it's not.
Cory, we could start doing that.
No.
Putting the,
Well, we don't know what
Putting
she's
the
going to
word
pick.
well, you know what we can do real quick though.
Type it up and put it in the caption.
No, we can actually just.
Hopefully it takes 10 minutes of computing. Just give me a minute.
Well, look, you
Thanks,
got
Bob.
you got to
Thanks
crawl
again.
before you can walk.
Bob always finds things for Cory to Google, search, try and figure out how to do.
Look, no
smack
one's a
dab in
bigger
the middle.
Cory fan than me.
Oh, that's true. That's absolutely true.
I see the potential in Cory for greatness, and so
Could we
when I see the little sparkle,
could we have Danielle's
Under
words
his blonde
somersault
eyelashes.
across the screen?
yes,
so
like it was an aggressive PowerPoint presentation.
I got to figure out how we can do this.
Perfect. 10 minutes
So,
later.
Here goes.
20 minutes later.
Here's
Fingers.
Danielle's word.
Your fingers in front of the letter. In front of the letter.
There we go.
No, there you go.
When did you stop listening to the podcast? Well,
That's the word.
Is when they started holding paper up to the camera.
yeah.
Oh, it's not focusing. Hold on.
It's not a real word, though.
It's not focusing. Hold on.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. Look, I put all those words in there. Every single one is a real word.
It's not an English word.
No one said they had to be English words. They just have to be words.
They should be.
Nope.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you say it loud enough. Well, one of your giant man thumbs is over.
I moved it eventually.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely a word.
No, it's not. Not used in everyday language.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't make it not a word just because you never use it.
10 minutes later.
So, Danielle, you gonna take a stab in the dark?
Nope.
Oh.
Not even one guess?
No, I'm going
Okay,
to.
I was going to say.
She's just used to everything I ask her saying no.
Yes. Okay, ready? I really don't know how to even...
Sound it out.
No. Do you know how to say it?
No.
Of course I do.
No, you don't.
All right, come on. One try.
I don't even know, like... I don't like this. I don't miss doing this.
Nick is jacking her volume up all the way.
Because that's going to change it. That was delayed. Okay. I don't know. That's not...
You're going to tackle it in chunks, right?
I know, but I don't know how to make it so that it makes sense when I say it.
It's okay. Just read it. That's the
No
great
one,
part.
no
of
one
it.
cares.
No one does.
Aren't you
There-
glad? Aren't you
I
glad
wanna-
you came back?
There was
No.
someone at some point that did care.
Yeah, they've stopped listening by now. Yeah.
They've since.
It's... I don't know. Is it synchronicity? No.
No.
That's what it looks like.
Corey, you want to give her a start?
Fancy.
A head start?
Starts with SCH. So
As all words do.
I
Not-
already said what I thought it was.
Synchronicity?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear an SCH in any of that.
I took the SCH out. It's silent.
Why would you take the... That's the whole point of the word box.
Because it's silent.
No.
It's never been silent.
It was today.
It's silent in Smirnoff.
No, it's not.
Well, I can tell you what it is.
What is it?
Let me spell it, right?
Go ahead.
I'm going to spell it. You tell me if I'm right. SCHISTOSITY. Schistosity.
What is that?
It is a mode of foliation that occurs in certain metamorphic rocks as a consequence of the parallel alignment of platy and lath-shaped mineral constituents.
I'm not a fucking geologist.
It reflects a considerable intensity, Danielle, of metamorphism, i.e. changes resulting from high temperatures, pressures, and deformation.
If I was a geologist, I might know that.
Look, everyone knows this.
No, they don't.
when you started reading that off, I was looking down at my computer. I'm like, and I was reading the definition. I'm like, holy fuck! I'm like, he knows this right word for word. And I looked up and I saw you were reading it as well. I was like,
Yep.
oh, son
Listen,
of a bitch.
Bob,
Yeah.
I'm not a geologist.
I know how to say geologist. I took geology in college.
Then you should know what schistosity is.
There you
Nah,
go.
we never learned about that.
Schistosity.
It was introduction too.
Was it synchronicity?
Geology
No.
1.
Yeah.
Geology 100.
Simplicity.
Well, a valiant effort, madam. Thank you again for gracing us with your presence and allowing us to do, once again, Danielle's Word Box. All right. We are probably due for another one.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think so. We didn't start out with one this time, so you'll notice that we're kind of really trying to have a running start tonight, and it's just not working. And why? Because anytime Corey has anything to do with the alcohol, it's very warm.
I did have. Thank you.
So right
well, thank
now,
you, Nick.
Bob is spilling all over the table, trying to pour shots of apple pie, which is fantastic, cold or warm. So if you have something, please pause us. Go grab it. get yourself another beer, and do a shot with us, won't you? Won't you be my shot buddy? Pause us right.
Meow. You say meow?
Meow.
Do I
And now it's
Ooh, wrong button.
Coop.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, and we're back.
Wow. Fifth time is a charm.
All right.
Some might say I should label those, but I disagree. I think it's funnier when you fuck it up.
No.
All right.
I think he changes the location of some of them. So.
No. Do you know how much work that is? God.
That was wonderful. By the way, it's just my cell phone number. My cell phone number.
I'm missing
Sorry,
out.
we're reading out Nick's cell phone number in the air now? Is that what we're doing?
No, my cell phone number is where you send the Zelle. You know, that's just you just send it right to the cell phone number.
Oh, okay.
Comes
I'll
right.
do that right now
Comes right to me.
on my
Cory and I-
phone that we're using as a
Corey,
camera.
Corey and I will both do it on the break.
Oh, I'll wait till we finish it. And then
Sound
I'll
good?
be like, whoa, gotta pay for nothing that's there.
Sound good,
That's right.
buddy? We'll both pay for it on the break.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we get a little bit into that? Why don't we talk about what was Nick's passion for the week?
My passion.
Passion for the week. What has been all consuming in your mind over this past week?
Listen, Bob has continually, in front of other people than myself, tried to play this off as if this was just my passion.
Is this the reason why we wrote down our top five comedians?
No.
Passion of the week are the
No. it's
okay.
not.
All right.
No, you're thinking of Passion of the Christ.
You might be.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Got the two confused.
Yeah. Less thorns in this one.
Do I need to make a list?
Is there more blood?
It's substantially less blood in this one.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's talking about what we purchased, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I'm gonna go grab another beer.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea.
So we are very thankful to Mr. Cory Schnozzcast for inviting us up to Oscoda, Michigan, somewhere that he spent his boyhood years on the beach with his family at a place called El Cortez that is now called Mai Tiki, M-A-I. It was something that apparently some other friends have done in the past. Bob and I have not. I don't think we were invited in the past, but I can't confirm it. I can't confirm or
Might have
deny
been.
that.
I can confirm.
What,
Might have
Danielle?
been.
I think, hold on, something's cutting out or something. Danielle, are you there? Danielle? I don't know. Something's not working. So, but anyhow,
The video. Betrayed by the video again.
in the past, I know I wasn't able to go. Bob, you've never been there, right?
Correct.
So,
I think I was able to go. I just decided not to.
well, you're still heard about the which March Madness trips, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Isn't Cory
Damn coronavirus.
still serving out his sentence?
Oh, he's on a 10-year ban. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That
Could be a
just
lifetime ban. I
gives
feel
me-
like it's 10 years.
gives
but
me great
It's
joy.
not my call to make.
Gives me great joy to the fact that he's been sentenced.
Yes.
But so anyhow, so he invited us, and I was still up in the air about because is in regards to everything I got going on. Bob took the bull by the horns like he always does when he just made a decision. That's what he's paid to do, makes decisions. He's a father. He makes decisions. That's what he does. And he bought a cabin at an adjoining resort.
I didn't buy a cabin.
Well, he's renting it. And so he said, this is the price if you want to
Cory,
go.
I love you so much. I bought a cabin.
Well, thank you, sir. It's a timeshare. So he said, if I'm interested and I can find out, we can go. I figured it out that we're going to go. So once I got on board with it, for whatever reason, this summer.
Oh, we're off to the races.
Yeah. This summer, I've always wanted a kayak until I started looking for kayaks. And then I realized that the world did not want me to have a kayak.
You thought it was going to be the summer of Nick.
Yeah, it was not.
Well,
Everywhere I
the
looked.
universe was conspiring against him, going, "No, it shall not be the summer."
There's
of Nick.
if look up kayaks on Google.
We'll wait.
And the first like 30 things that pop up at the top of Google
See, it's not just me.
are all fake websites. They're websites that recreate themselves almost on a daily basis, and they take things that you're looking for, and they cut the price by 1/5. So if it's like a $600 kayak, normally they'll say it's $95. Or you want an Intex, you want a $400 Intex pool, $75. The idea, after I did some research of these stupid websites, is that they create these bullshit sites. They pay Google to advertise on top of everything so people click on it. And you send your credit card information in to purchase these things for great prices. And they cancel the order and refund you, but now they have your information. And then they close the company, this website, and they start a new one. So they're all scams. Other than the scam sites that, of course, we're not sending you kayaks, no legitimate sites would send them either. You couldn't pay for them. You couldn't ship them. You couldn't do anything. Very, very long story short, we searched high and low for kayaks, could not find them unless you wanted to pay about $750 for one, which we did not. Dunham's has a really great deal going on where they've got awesome $350 kayaks for like $189. I called 20 different Dunham stores. Could not find until finally I talked to one guy who was about 45 minutes away. And he said, oh, yeah, we got 6. So I got Bob on the phone.
Wait, didn't he say he had sold 10 in the last 30 minutes?
Yeah, I told him, I said, so supposedly they're going pretty fast now. He goes, yeah, I sold 10 kayaks in 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
It was 5 minutes, yeah.
Right, and I got 6 left.
I got 6 left, and
Better
I got
get here
some
fast.
other ones, a couple other ones, but they're really expensive.
Yeah.
But the $189 kayaks, I got 6 left. So I got on the horn with Bob. I'm like, you got to go, man. We got to figure this out. I can't leave right now. I'm with my uncle. But we have
I was working, but that's fine.
Bob's like, well, he immediately said, I can go. I didn't even ask. He's like, oh, I can go out there.
After a very long pause on the phone, and no one's saying anything.
I had to take two calls in the car, and I had to pull over to the side of the road to take one of them.
What I think Bob said was, I'm working right now, and I'm supposed to get on this call, but I really don't want to, so I could probably head out there.
That sounds about right.
I said, oh, okay.
Sounds about right.
I didn't say like, hey, Bob,
he definitely didn't
do me a
twist my
favor.
arm.
No, he was like, oh, well, I've always wanted to kayak myself, so I could go out there. So then he's like, well, if this guy sold 10 in 5 minutes, what if I get 15 minutes away and he's sold them? So I called the guy and I said, listen,
Yep.
the name of the store is not going to be said, but I used a little silver tongue action.
Poor choice of words.
Oh, it was purposeful. And he agreed to set 2 aside for us for 2 hours. Bob was able to go out there and get our kayaks. And apparently everyone online, ever since I put it on Facebook, was like, oh, my God. Where did you find
I've been
those?
looking for that for years.
Where did you find those? I can't find kayaks anywhere.
Right.
So for the past week and a half, Bob and I have spent about twice as much as the kayak actually costs on stuff to modify the kayak.
I think for kayak accessories, you have topped me, sir, in the amount of stuff. But you like to fish.
You just said $700.
But that's not on the kayak.
It's a kayak rack.
It also holds stand-up paddle boards, which I have one already. Like I'd wanted the rack for other reasons.
But did you have the rack?
No.
Before getting the kayak?
No.
And you have the stand-up paddle board.
But I don't need it. And in fact, I probably won't get it before we leave.
But you still spent the money.
Yeah, but it was
Trying to piecemeal it together.
It was unrelated.
It's kind of related because you can put a kayak or a paddle board on it.
Yeah, but I don't have to. I don't need it to go there. And I knew that before I ordered it.
When I just had a paddle board, I didn't want it.
My Jeep will not go anywhere without this paddle board on it.
I didn't want it when I just had a paddle board. Now that I have a kayak, I want it, but I don't have to put the kayak on.
Bob's always driving around with the kayak and paddle board on his roof.
Where am I going to put it?
Just headed to get dinner.
Where do you think you're supposed to store it?
How are you going to start it?
Right. Keys.
Yeah.
Undercoating.
Undercoating.
Rust proofing. So Bob and I are spending way, way, way too much money on kayak accessories.
Yes. Well, yeah. That's fair.
Cory, I talked to him today about about all the different stuff, and you know how he was like, Jesus Christ, man, stop sending me stuff. He's like, there goes my tax money.
Killing me.
So I
Killing
said,
me, Smalls.
I was about to tell him some of the stuff I bought, and I'm like, yeah, Cory has a speaker. One of the things was called a JBL clip. You know what it is? So I'm like, okay, well, listen to music on the kayak. It's got the built-in carabiner. That's really cool. I told them about it, and they both naysayed it. And Cory's like,
I didn't, dude. I was,
Corey's like,
I was not
never
naysaying it, dude.
Cory's like, I have a Bluetooth speaker. I don't need that.
I wasn't. No.
Or no, you said you can use mine.
I said I have a water resistant
right.
speaker that has a carabiner on it that you could take on the kayak.
Right, and I'm like, no, he's going to be using. I want my own. That's
and
just me
again, if we're all in that
personally.
close of proximity, why would we need two different Bluetooth speakers?
Well, we're not going to be because we're going to be zooming across the water, and you're going to be splashing in the tube like this,
zooming across the wall. Okay,
trying to catch
You
you.
realize how fast they go?
Oh, I've been in kayaks many times, young lady, many times. Not mine, but other people's. So I was telling him about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got one of those." I'm like, "You got the clip too?" Well, yeah. I'm a nut for Bluetooth speakers, so that was a given.
Way too many Bluetooth speakers.
Oh, I think we all do.
Do we?
Not me.
How many you got?
All together,
Working Bluetooth speakers.
working Bluetooth speakers. At least 10.
Oh, I've only got like 6.
You might have me beat. I think I got 7.
Yeah, I have at least 10.
Because I have the big one upstairs that Cory told me about, and I think 4 JBL Pulses. And
Why do you have 4 of them?
because every time they'd have a new model, I'd buy it.
Why would you? Why? Is there something wrong with your old one?
No.
That is a problem. That's how you know you got a problem.
No, it's like saying,
Having had that problem, that's how you know.
Bob, it's like saying, well, what was wrong with your old cell phone? Didn't it make calls? Yeah.
Yeah, but you
So
don't keep the old one.
Yeah,
but you can't trade
sell-
in JBLs.
I'm just saying.
You can sell them. You can sell anything.
I don't want to sell them.
Exactly.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You could, you just don't want to.
Why
So
would I
you're a
want
hoarder, is what you're saying.
I can always use a Bluetooth speaker.
There you go. I could always use another stack of newspapers.
Right on top of the other stack of newspapers.
I don't think the Finns should be laughing when they have a collection of over 50 little items.
They're not hoarding. They're all different.
They're
There's no-
collectibles.
there's
Look, all those newspapers are from different days.
There's no practical purpose.
I may have 40,000 of them.
Exact.
They're all from different
stack
days.
15, 22, 26. Those are all the same
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Oh, how they finger wag now, but
They
when
do.
they're outside later
They do.
listening to a Bluetooth speaker at my house, not saying anything then, are they?
So I told Nick, I'm
No, we
like,
can't because it's too loud and we can't hear ourselves talk.
And the
I
neighbor thinks the same thing.
I said, I hope that Cory takes it in the right spirit, that we are, very excited about the trip. We talked about doing a podcasty type of a adventure, and and what we're spending.
Which, by the way, we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah, all right.
Which is,
We're-
quote unquote, I didn't tell Danielle.
Gotcha. We're legitimately excited, and so therefore we're like, oh, we want to buy this. This will make the trip better. We'll have more fun. So,
No, I mean, I didn't think you were going to have an issue coming up. Nick, though, all the years I've known Nick,
yeah,
him going places is not the number one thing on his list.
yeah, I get
But
it.
you're the same way.
No, but for certain things, I was kind of hoping you were going to share that sentiment of it's just up north. We're not getting on a plane and flying thousands of miles away, and having to pack up all a week's worth of shit to take up there. And which you clearly are packing enough now with the kayak and everything. But
I could pretty much live on it now.
right,
Yeah,
right.
He might just kayak from here to there
Yeah, no. So I mean,
through the Suez Canal.
and trust me, I've told
Up
plenty
through
of
the
people.
Sulaks.
I'm like, for the guy that never wants to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, once he confirmed that he was going up north with us, he definitely has gone above and beyond to try to get stuff and plan stuff out to take up there. So, no, I'm excited that you were that into it, that you went through all this and to go ahead and even just for the kayak and all the shit you've got for it.
You have no idea.
And as a matter of fact, that picture, the picture I sent you guys of that opening on that river,
Yeah.
that's part of Yasabo, and that's what there's a launching point, maybe 10 minutes from where we're going to be staying, and you can go park right down there, and literally it's gravel that runs right into the river.
Yeah.
And you can get in the river, very, very light current, and we can get in there and we can go from there.
Okay.
So that and then
That'd be
and
fun
then-
in itself.
When he says we, he means you go.
No.
I'll float behind you.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, okay. So could we tell the listeners
So
Really, what Corey's been planning this whole time?
Nick had sent a link, a picture for what looked like a very, very comfortable, like all in the family kind of an armchair, a floating armchair with lots of cup holders and. I mean, it was the size of like a full sectional couch.
Yeah, it almost looked like a love seat.
They're nowhere near that big. That's
it looked huge in the picture.
I've seen a couple YouTube videos on them because they're actually meant for fishing.
They are, yeah.
So
but it looked like you could fit two of you in this.
Right, it looks like a couch.
It does,
but in
like
actuality, it is literally just fits around a person.
Like picture taking your love seat and putting it in the river and just pushing it
with every compartment you could think of,
and tubes just around it.
Yeah, so. He's like, yeah.
Cory had reached out to me and said, "Hey, find me a sweet tube. If you come across a sweet tube,
thank you.
Let me know, and maybe I'll buy it." So I started sending them, and then I bought tubes for other people. I don't know how that worked out, but
it did.
Yeah, trust me, if they weren't fucking $4,
I'm sure they wouldn't have not been purchased. So
did you know that I also bought an Intex pump?
Like a foot pump or an actual?
Nope, like plug into your car Intex pump.
You don't have to do that. I have one of those.
Oh, Intex. That's the brand of the
bed
floatable cooler that I have.
Coolers. That bed's an Intex. The kayaks they make.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's what I thought too. I meant to get back with you on that the other night about the.
What's that?
When Nick mentioned about the floating cooler, I said, I'm like, I know Bob has one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I looked them up on Amazon when you said they're in very, very high demand.
Yeah.
The Intex one popped up, and I'm like, I'm very sure that's the one Bob has.
Yeah, because it was.
But it said out of stock, didn't it?
It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
No, it was. Yeah, it wasn't in stock on Amazon. I knew that Bob had one because I remember you got it for the Rifle River.
Joe and his friends and his girlfriend at the time would go every summer. They would go like a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a summer, and so we ended up going with them. So I've rented a kayak for like 3 or 4 years to the point where I'm like, I should just fucking buy one. The money I've spent renting kayaks, I could have had my own kayak by now. So I needed a cooler and I couldn't fit. I'm like, I have no idea what cooler what kayak I'm gonna get when I rent it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get one that I can tie in the back of anyone. So I looked. It took me a while to find this one, and I finally found it. I'm like, okay, it's a floatable like like a tube with essentially the stand-up covered cooler area in the middle where you put your ice and your beer, and you can hold a case of beer in there. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Perfect. That's what I need. It was like 2 or 3 years ago that I bought it. But I imagine now, like the kayaks, it's probably difficult to find.
Dude, you can't find them anywhere.
Yeah.
So the ones that they have on eBay, it's like this one brand, and it's basically a square. And you
go on.
You slip the cooler into the square, and it floats the cooler.
Yep.
I'm like, that's fine. So $27.75. I'm looking for all these ones, and they're all the same brand. They're all around the same price. Most of them were about $39. This guy said $27.75 or best offer. So I sent him a thing, and I said $20 because he also wanted like $9.95 shipping. So he writes back,
"Fuck you."
No,
he writes.
Suck a dick.
He writes back.
Oh, thank you, bud.
Counter offer. $27. He took off He took off.
I kick your ass and I take your $200.
Yeah, he took off 75 cents. So I wrote him back and I said, "LOL, really? 75 cents less?"
Thanks, asshole.
And he wrote a counter offer of
go fuck yourself
of $30.
It went up?
He raised it.
What a dick.
And so I counter offered him and declined it with a message that said, "Thanks for being a fucking asshole. Now I'm glad to pay even more from someone else that's not you." Like,
well done.
what a fucking asshole. 75 cents. Why do you put fucking best offer down if you're going to be a fucking cheapskate?
And what was your wager, Mr. Turd Ferguson?
$20. It's a fucking tube. I spent $4 for a full one that I can sit in. This is for a cooler.
Just out there price gouging.
Times are tough.
Times are tough. And speaking of time, Cory, we're just over an hour.
Break time?
Break time.
All right. Take a 15-minute break.
15 minutes, we'll be back.
See you on the second half.
See you guys in a bit.
See you on the other side. Back with the second half of episode 83 for Schnozzcast. So we've got a lot of stuff to get through in the second half. We're going to start it off with a fantastic segment that is a sheer hit with our listener. It's called Funko This with Cory Slesky.
Are we doing Funko This?
We're doing Funko This.
All right. Well,
I take it you got a graphic for it.
I do.
Excellent.
So I know you guys are very excited and on the edge of your seats.
Funko. This.
What?
Oh, schmail mail.
It's not the name, but okay.
Judge schmail mail. Sorry.
You haven't seen that movie.
I know. We've covered this several times.
You can't quote a movie you haven't seen. It's just unnatural.
I just know the weird name.
So
Some
for this week's
consider it to be unnatural.
Funko This.
Do you have a graphic? Oh, you need me to make one?
Oh, he's got
I got one.
It just says Funko.
And then this.
Oh, did it?
It did.
All I saw was Funko. Oh.
All right. I feel like we've seen a Dwight Schrute already.
Dwight.
Oh, there's many Dwight Schrutes.
Dwight with the CPR mannequin face.
Yes.
But yes, it is the Dwight Schrute from the episode where he cuts off the CPR mannequin's face and puts it on himself. And believe it or not, this is actually very hard to find.
Yes.
So I was able to find one about a week ago. And thank you to Mr. Brandon Billings out in West Virginia that sent this to me and was able to pick it up from FYE.
I like that his phone is clipped to his waist.
Always.
Hold on. So a gentleman from West Virginia referred you to a place where you could pick up this?
Negative. He found it in an FYE, sent me a picture of it on Facebook Messenger, and I decided to purchase it from him.
So he bought it at an FYE in West Virginia?
Correct.
And you bought it from him?
Correct. And then
in the course of the in the course of the exchange, did you happen to mention that we have a podcast?
I haven't brought it up to too many of the guys that I talked to about the Funko stuff yet. As a matter of fact, I met with one of them in person today to buy some more Funko.
Cory, this is networking 101.
No, I know, and that is going to be the next thing coming up. I wanted to make sure that the Funko this thing was going to continue, so at least they had something to relate to.
I think we're stuck with it no matter what happens. So you might as well.
So it will be posted.
This Funko stuff doesn't seem to be going away, Nick.
I know.
Well,
we got a lot of Funkos today.
Only 10.
Dude.
Which you'll be happy to know. One of them was I found Bluto in the toga at a GameStop.
I mean, I think that's.
You could have had mine. I would have given it to you.
I think that's pretty. I think it's pretty.
Cheers.
I think it's pretty normal though. Most new younger couples Funko all day.
We're not new.
You're not new?
At least 2-3 times a week.
No.
How many times do you guys Funko?
Together? Or separate?
I mean, however it's laid out.
Let's talk about together first, but then we can talk about individual.
Hey, only I get to hear about that.
Look, whatever it takes.
It's your segment. This is
Yeah.
why we're talking about it.
It says
No,
it's called Funko This. Not
True.
Funko That. It's Funko This.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, okay.
He definitely Funkos more without me.
Oh, there it
Cory.
is. There it is.
You're not helping this at all
I
whatsoever.
know. But I mean,
Most guys at Funko do. They Funko alone.
Yeah. Does he like to have a cigarette afterward? After he Funkos?
how would I know? I'm not there.
He puts a chew in.
That's right.
A satisfying,
Ah, it was a good Funko experience.
satisfying hit after the end.
Danielle,
So-
do you sometimes secretly Funko without Cory? And then maybe tell him later?
Really?
And then maybe tell him later?
I mean, I'm always looking to try to find stuff.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
I'm on a hunt for all of my
Has there...
Dwights.
Okay, so has there...
I'm on the hunt for all my toys.
Has there...
Dwights.
Oh,
My
sorry, Dwights.
Has there ever been a time, for even like a short period of time, like
No, there is not.
purposeful amount of time,
Yeah.
even though maybe later you said something, that you Funkoed and didn't say something to the other person, like, I'm going to wait a day before I tell her about this one. Or I'm going to wait a day before I tell Cory about this.
Did you yada yada over the Funko?
Huh?
They don't watch that.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
But, like, was there like I probably shouldn't be spending money right now. I'm going to get this one, and I'll tell Cory later, or I'll tell Danielle later. Is there about
No, because they all go into the collection, so there's no way to.
It's not like you can keep it a secret.
Right.
They come to the house.
Well, unless you're picking it up in person.
The only time I've done that was for the ones I got for her birthday. And that was it.
What's the...
And this Dwight.
Yeah, but I got that one from Brandon.
Right.
That got sent to the house.
So speaking from the podcast audience perspective, and I'm going to say my perspective because Bob is slowly circling the drain with Funko as well. It's already started, man. It's like a disease.
I actually have two of them in my bag. I'm not sure which one of us is circling the drain.
Yeah, that's right. So at what point is it enough?
I don't think there is a point
So-
where it's enough.
I mean, but you're going to run out of space. So, I mean, at what point are we like, are we dedicating a room to this? Is the whole basement
A
going to be
wing?
Funko? Yeah. At what point are you like, I think this is good.
Is there going to be a wing of Finn Manor dedicated solely to Funkos?
You know how much she loves that.
I know. I really
No,
don't
that
like
should,
it.
he's never said Finn Manor. He's called you Mr. and Mrs. Finn.
No, you have.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure you've said it before.
Have you?
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
Yeah, both
Regardless
of
of who
us have
said
been
it.
both of us have been corrected by Krabby.
She's interpreted many negative things as only coming from me. Now that
Well, that's
Joe's
true.
gone, it's
Yeah,
like
she needs a punching bag. and
Well-
it's Nick Bader.
lesser of several evils. So.
Yeah,
But yeah, so back to the question.
Well, there's plenty of room in the basement to fill up with Funkos, but no, everything we go after is stuff that we like. TV shows we like, movies we like.
I
And so
understand that.
There's only a limited amount to that.
Is there?
There definitely is.
Cory, because there could be 160 TV shows and movies that you like, but there may be 10 versions of each one of those characters.
I think The Office is actually the biggest collection that Funko has as far as a TV series.
I think we're dancing around the answer.
No, we're not. 'Cause we already have 95% of
there's
that
only
collection.
there's only two stopping points. One of which is the amount of space that you have to house the Funkos in the wing on Finn Manor.
Or children.
No.
okay.
No, children won't stand in the way of a hobby. Come on now.
Good.
That's the only thing that keeps you afloat, especially when you're getting up at the middle of the night to make a bottle or change a diaper.
Excellent.
Provide support for your better half who's having a feed, and
Cory,
I can't be. You can't be sleeping if I'm not sleeping. All that kind of shit.
Cory, how many Funkos do you have?
Oh, the last time I looked,
Roughly.
we just counted the other day. What was it?
We just
She just said 90.
No.
Did she just say
I don't
90?
know.
90?
Say 90, 95 to 100. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so you have 95 Funkos, and how long have you been interested in this?
March.
The pandemic.
So not even a
Just
year.
say the pandemic.
Oh, no, yeah, not even nowhere
No,
near.
this
a
all
year.
started because of the Corona.
And how old are you, Cory?
In mentally or physically?
No,
Physically,
in years.
Physically,
Yeah,
it's
how physically?
it's like 48.
Physically 95.
So you're 33.
Mentally 12.
You're 33.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say by March, you've purchased 110 Funkos,
By March of next year?
but it would be a full year.
No. He started March of this year.
By March of next year would be a full
He's
year.
already at 95.
We're only gonna buy 10 more.
Okay, so
Jesus Christ, he's going to get up to like 400 by March of next year.
140, we'll say.
Jeez, that's still way low.
That's very, very low.
Even he says it's low.
160.
Okay, fair enough.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Sure,
Let's say
for-
somebody gets
for-
their wages garnished or, there's a death in the family, God forbid.
So at this rate,
House burns down.
Thanks.
by
I'm
40,
just saying, some sort of tragedy might befall the Finns,
By-
and therefore you wouldn't have the money to necessarily spend on frivolous things like Funkos.
but by 43 in 10 years, you're going to have 1,600 Funkos.
It's really not that much.
You realize people collect things like
I'm
all the
not-
time.
I'm happy that you guys have a hobby. I really am. I'm just putting it into perspective.
And that you
I'm
collect Funkos.
I'm wondering, is that are we dedicating the basement to Funkos? We're building shelves on the walls. I mean,
It wouldn't even. So that shelf you have behind the Letterkenny quilt
yeah.
that could easily fit 1,600 Funkos.
Okay. I just didn't know if there was a plan. That's all.
Yeah. So it's really not about.
Like I said before, my dad, one of my dad's best friends, built 16-inch shelving that went around. He had a finished basement. It was very nice. That was about 10 tiers down, and the shelving went around his entire basement. So 10 shelves that wrapped around the entire basement going all the way down. And they were all beer cans from around.
I was going to guess dildo collection. But
No, from around the world. And there they were. And it was just something to marvel at. You'd go in his basement and you'd be like, whoa. Most were open, some weren't.
Somebody loves wine.
But it was just crazy to go.
Soda pop.
But it was done, in a tasteful way.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
we're not just gonna throw them on the ground and like, oh, there's our Funko collection.
Pile
Right.
up next to the kitchen table.
Right.
Yeah, like
I mean, that
like
would
another.
to me that would almost be a cool idea if you guys decided to like finish a basement or something, and at least one wall, like to say, have a little like a bronze plaque or something. The Office collection, this collection, this, and just have them.
Surprisingly, they don't take up a lot of space.
They really don't.
So, yeah, like you say, yeah, like
Oh,
something
beer,
like,
about the size of a beer can, I would say.
yeah, roughly.
If they're
Yeah.
unboxed, yeah.
Yeah, we don't keep them in the boxes.
So it wouldn't take up a shit ton of room.
This is far more time than I thought we'd spend on Funko this.
Hey, this was not me.
It's
this
all
time.
Nick.
I
Yeah.
want to know. I'm curious.
Okay.
I will let you know the plans in progress as they go along, sir.
Let me know if there are any home improvements to adapt to an increasing Funko Pop collection. Let
We
me know.
already have.
You need to build a Funko cave.
There has been.
Yeah, we have shelves and stuff for
Well,
it.
I know, but that's not a home. That's just purchasing a shelf.
It's still adding something to that wasn't there before.
When it's like, hey, hold on, should we knock down that wall? Should we take that? Could we add more Funkos if we knock down this wall?
This basement's
That's
only
what
one
I'm-
level. Perhaps we could dig down further.
Tunnel our way.
Funko cave.
Not a bad idea. So yeah, that's Funko this for this episode.
Well done.
All right, sir. There was a new segment that I wanted to try, which I think is probably just going to be you and me, Cory, going back and forth. But I have been one of the movies that I love is High Fidelity with John Cusack, and during the course of the movie, he focuses a lot on top 5 lists. It's the premise of the entire movie, and they just released sometime in the last 6 months a TV series, which is a sort of a reimagining of the story with Zoe Kravitz in the John Cusack role. So gender switch, but they're still focused on the top 5. So I wanted to try to see if I could do that. So it's a little bit different than pick of the week. We just want to come up with a topic and just kind of bat it back and forth. Doesn't have to take very long, but I'm interested in hearing, Cory's top 5 as compared to mine, because everybody's top 5 is a little bit different. So the topic that I came up with to start here for this episode is comedians.
So are we going from 5 to 1?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, all right, I will say starting out on my number 5, it is a tie.
Yeah, a tie for 4 and 5. Okay.
Well, not for 4 and 5, but
You got see top 5's got to be. So that means you're gonna have to drop. You got to drop one of those bottom feeders.
All right.
That's
for 5.
That's the rules of the top 5. Only 5. You can have a tie, but that means but the total can still be no more than 5.
Then for 5, I'll drop the one half I had. Whitney Cummings would be my 5th favorite comedian.
I have just in the past, probably since the pandemic started following her on Instagram and sort of getting into her a little bit more.
And that's the thing, because I follow her on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And so to kind of slip something in there. So Liza Schlesinger was...
Speaking of Whitney Cummings, I'm going to slip something in there. And
Liza Schlesinger was my second half to that.
Dude, no, you can't. Okay, I'm not interested in who you just dropped off the list.
Hold on.
But
the doctor?
Huh?
Laura Schlesinger?
There's a lot of you can't swing a dead cat, Nick, without hitting a Schlesinger.
So 4 was Bill Burr.
You know what? Let's go back and forth here because I feel because my number 5 is Chris Rock.
All right.
But my number 4, Bill Burr.
Oh, both on 4. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
3, Stephen Wright.
Oh, that's a good one. I can't believe it didn't make my top 5. My number 3 was Seinfeld.
How do you make it to 3? Anyways.
Really?
I think his comedy is much different than this show.
Yes, and I would say he's like a surgeon when it comes to comedy. When it comes to a stand-up act, he just like hammers it out till it's exactly the shape he wants. And I mean, I've never seen him have a bad. I mean, the minute that he gets up on stage,
More like a blacksmith, isn't it?
Well, sure.
Shouldn't really hammer on that heart. He's not doing too much.
What kind of surgeon is this?
A little bit of a mixed metaphor.
So,
there,
doctor, how do we get that skull open? Well, let me show you.
Right.
Yeah. So number 3 was Seinfeld.
Okay. 2 for me, Mitch Hedberg.
Interesting. Mine was Pryor.
All right, different ends of the spectrum, definitely.
Yeah.
Kind of loud.
But I love Hedberg.
Well, and it's and
it says a lot about about you as a person. Your top 5. The fact that you have Stephen Wright and Hedberg.
Well, very dry and
very observant, but like the self-contained joke.
Oh yeah, yes, very much.
No
so.
storytelling.
No, basically an entire show of one-liners.
Yeah. Demetri Martin is probably very.
Oh
similar.
fuck! Yep. God damn it!
I was thinking about him the other day too, going, I wouldn't make my top 5, but I do love me some Demetri Martin.
He's awesome.
I'm kind of pissed his show's not on anymore either.
Can you still get it on streaming somewhere?
I don't know. Actually, this is the first time I've thought about him in quite some time.
He's fucking brilliant.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a very intelligent guy. Number 1, I think this is where our lists are going to go sideways, Bob.
They're probably not going to match.
No, I know they're not going to match. Daniel Tosh.
Oh yeah, no, Carlin, number 1.
Okay, yeah.
But you grew up. You grew up in a different era than I did, and Tosh was huge when you were growing up.
Oh, and
right?
it wasn't. It's not even about the show. I actually did get a chance to go see him live.
Okay.
And yes, the show is funny. I've always laughed at Tosh Point. But that's all written stuff. I know he does a lot of his own writing, but the censorship in it, due to the fact it's on Comedy Central,
yeah,
you're not getting a lot of his actual comedy. Seeing him live, where he can say whatever he wants and whatever he pleases, holy shit! I think if you actually had the chance to see him live and heard some of the stuff that he comes up with, you would definitely appreciate him more. Now, obviously not more than Carlin, but I think you'd be like, wow, this guy's pretty spot on and does a fucking fantastic job.
I think we're both influenced by the people that we've seen live. You know, I'm not sure.
Definitely.
I'm not sure that Bill Burr would have made my list if I hadn't seen him live.
See, I disagree with you there. I think just even from some of the movies that he's been in,
there's not a whole lot of movie. I mean, his
seen
movie roles pretty thin.
but even at that, and I guess to me that's what says the most about him is even though he's had very thin roles in movies,
Yeah.
He's always stuck out. So I think that that said a lot to me about as far as his comedy and all that. But yes, even seeing him live, that was a fucking phenomenal show that we went and saw.
Yeah.
So it does have an influence on it, but I think even without that, he still would have been in my top 5.
I think probably what I would have done in no order, but would have been Seinfeld, Robin Williams,
Oh, a good pick. Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres,
Okay.
Jim Gaffigan,
Gaffigan's a good
Gaffigan's a
one.
monster.
I love
Yeah.
Jim
and what was my 5th one? Norm Macdonald.
Did you write this
Oh,
shit
see-
down and we were going back and forth and you didn't want to? We could have.
No, I didn't write it down.
Okay.
See, and
It
Norm
just
Macdonald-
came to my head.
And
People don't think of Norm Macdonald, but his early stand up was
Dude.
so. The bit we did with when he surprised the guy as the devil. He's like, "It's me, Bob." He's like, "Oh, Jesus, you got me there, Bobby. I just murdered my whole family. They're in a trunk in my car, and boy's my face red."
Remember he was death on Family Guy?
Was he death?
Yeah. He was death on Family Guy.
Was he always death? Was it like a recurring thing?
Because remember, he was the Grim Reaper, and they called him Death, and he showed up, and oh my God, who are you? I'm Callista Flockhart. Who the fuck do you think I am? I'm Death.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it was McDonald.
So this is what I'm envisioning for this segment. Is I know you did that off the top of your head, but this is something where like I need to do my due diligence and send it to you ahead of time so that you can actually like write it down. It's probably not something you're going to come up with. You probably could off the top of your
I
head,
came
but,
with a couple just while you
Yeah.
guys are talking.
but it probably would be more interesting and ultimately more satisfying if we all just, if I send it to you like early in the week and you're like, oh, let me write down a few things.
Well, and I was just say too, yeah, comedians I don't think is a very, very difficult one just to come up with off the top of it. And then once we got that started, like you said, Nick came up with some, and Danielle said she had some rolling around in her head that came up just from that. But yeah, Nick like bring up Norm Macdonald, and then I started thinking, I'm like, oh, fucking John Panette. So I comedians that might have been a little easy. But yeah, anything in the future, I think if you shoot out a text to us and let us know to actually make that list.
In
And
the year 2000. How about Conan O'Brien? Did he ever do stand-up?
I don't like him.
I don't think he did a lot of it. He's a writer.
He's a writer, yeah.
I don't
Primarily,
like his
yeah.
show.
You don't like his show? His
No,
talk
I
show?
do not like his talk show.
Really?
I will turn it off. Yes.
You will turn it off.
I will turn it off.
What is it about him that offends you
I
so?
don't know, but I do not like him.
It's a mystery.
But like,
Is it because he's tall and redheaded?
no. Like Jimmy Fallon.
No,
I-
you fool.
You are the
love-
opposite of Conan, Corey.
I love Jimmy Fallon now, but when he was on SNL, I hated him because he laughs at all of his jokes, and I didn't like that.
See,
I love when people break. I liked him more now than I like him, or more then than I like him now.
I'm the same way.
See, I'm the opposite.
To me now, I feel like he's the cookie cutter talk show host. Has
Yeah.
to kiss everyone's ass. Has to be the yes man.
He's definitely got a role as a talk show host.
Yeah, he's. Oh, everything's perfect, and we do everything we have to do, and
He really cut. Yeah.
Have you watched his stuff like in quarantine though?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't get behind it. I don't know why.
He's taking his role that he was pre-quarantine and putting it into like a home version, and yeah, just doesn't. I like my shit a
liked
little
him on
edgier.
SNL, yeah.
I grew up with Letterman, not Carson, and so I like that edgier style. I love Craig Ferguson because Craig Ferguson would just go, I'm tearing up my list of questions. We're just gonna riff.
Yeah,
And he
hello,
would
everybody.
riff
How you doing
all the
tonight?
time. All the time.
Hiya, folks.
And no one gave him any credit for that. And like he was the only talk show host that was doing it without a net, like completely without a net.
But yeah, some of the just basic comedians, like I said, Seinfeld and Ellen, I mean, I love the edgy comedians that swear and do all that stuff, but sometimes like Louis C.K. and stuff like that, like it just gets overboard. It's like fuck and this and this and this, and it's like, oh, okay, well,
Well, some of them use it like they use it as a tool.
Yeah.
And there are those comedians who just do it to do it. But I think the people who do it and they use it as a tool, it's just as hard to do that as it is to not do it and be clean. That's probably just as hard.
Right.
I mean, to me, it would be difficult to be a clean comedian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seinfeld always was. I think
Gaffigan-
Ellen was.
Gaffigan's a real big clean comedian because he always he's like I would never want one of my kids to see one of my shows.
He's
and me
always
just be
talking
going
about his
off on
kids.
Stage.
He talks about food, his kids, being overweight.
Hot pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's made very good living.
Oh, hello,
Him and his-
McDonald's.
Him and his 19 kids.
Good to see you again.
I really like him.
Oh, he's awesome.
He just got his own XM channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All Gaffigan all the time, apparently.
Jesus.
He's so.
I didn't know he had that much material.
He is so dry, but he's such a. Like, I feel like you could bump into him in Kroger.
But he's like Seinfeld. He's like a blacksmith. Honed and hammered that out to
slicing out the heart, pulling out the lungs.
Exactly what his niche is in the comedy world. Like Gaffigan, no one goes near Gaffigan. He's got his own space.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. I mean, they're awesome. And what's his face? The short guy, short black guy.
Kevin
Hart.
No,
Yeah.
I like him as well. But the other one with the longer hair.
Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Yes. He's good.
I'm not a big Cat Williams fan.
He's good too, but it's just a lot of
Kevin Hart's not clean, but he's not a guy to drop the F-bomb all the time.
No, he's not. But I like the way Gaffigan and Seinfeld and DeGeneres deliver. You know, it's almost like catch you by surprise humor. Like you don't see it coming, and all of a sudden it's just something so retarded. It's like a dad joke.
Yeah.
And it just, you lose it. It's like, what the fuck?
Who was the one that you regretted putting in there? Dimitri Martin in your top 5?
I regret not putting in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dimitri Martin would have been.
Dude, he's so intellectually involved in his jokes. I mean,
Yeah. Plus he's always playing banjo while he's telling them.
He's singing. He's poster boards that lead to jokes like 20 minutes down the road.
And I think that is one of the biggest things. Like it kind of sidetracks, or you think it's sidetracking, that he almost just completely lost track of what he was saying and where the joke was going, but then totally brings it right back around to an insanely funny punchline.
Mm-hmm.
So to tell a story with a joke but still have a good punchline to it, I mean that obviously takes a lot of work and. It's a good amount of talent.
Yeah, the one I regretted putting in that it really didn't occur to me until we started the segment was Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks should have been in my top 5. Always a huge fan, and another reason why I really never liked Dennis Leary as a stand-up because he completely ripped off Bill Hicks.
Yeah, that is, I'm gonna say somewhat true.
Remember,
but there are certain Dennis Leary segments that. The 7-Eleven coffee,
Yeah, that's genius.
That to me is hilarious. So like with a guy like Dennis Leary, it's not about his overall comedy because, like I said, I'll agree with you on the Bill Hicks thing for the most part. But for him, it's like segments for me that I find funny.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit down and watch his entire stand-up and find the entire thing hilarious.
Right.
I'm gonna find parts of it funny. As to where Mitch Hedberg, everything that he says, I'm literally just rolling over at, and because the delivery of it, his tone and everything, and that was all his.
Yeah.
And since then, there's
Ride
really,
or Die. It was all his.
Yeah, and there's really no one else that's come up with that kind of style of comedy that's made it work that way.
Remember
that I can think of.
Remember Norm Macdonald. The heart.
That's what I was thinking.
The violent organ. It only knows violence. It attacks you in the night.
So what I'm going to do is preemptively attack my heart. Yeah, I'm the boss.
He's like, yeah. You ever hear about Uncle Bill's got cancer again? He lost his courageous battle with cancer. His courageous battle. I mean, no offense to Uncle Bill, but he was pretty much lying in a bed doing nothing, looking pretty bad for a while. I don't know if he's really lost his courageous battle. It's not like Uncle Bill died, and Cancer's like, I'm fucking Uncle Bill's wife. You know?
Cancer shows up to Uncle Bill's office and, I'm taking over Uncle Bill's job.
But he's so, Norm's got that, like, perma smile where he almost seems like he's either high or drunk, and he's, like, lost. And then all of a sudden he brings it back around,
Honestly, I've always loved Norm Macdonald as a talk show guest way more than I'd loved him as a comedian.
He's always like,
It's like he goes on that talk show. He's like, it's like they came to him in the dressing room and they're like, okay, so what do you want to go over? And he's like, don't you worry about it. I'll handle it.
Well, I love what Bob introduced to me the time that he just came over and he's like, hey, let's just bullshit and have a couple beers. We'll watch some TV. And I turned on Norm Macdonald's stand-up, and I was telling him about when you and I were watching it that one night. And he's like, well, do you know about the stand-up with him and OJ? And I'm like, him and OJ? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, dude, it's why he was kicked off of Saturday Night Live. They kept telling him on Weekend Update that he was not allowed to talk about O.J. Simpson.
And it wasn't Lorne Michaels. It was someone like the head of General Electric or NBC or whatever. I don't know why I went back to Letterman with General Electric, but the head of NBC was like, no, send a note from me down to Lorne Michaels to tell him that Norm Macdonald isn't funny and tell him to stop telling O.J. jokes. And like the next Saturday night, first joke, O.J.
And
right off the top.
He just kept hitting it. O.J. this, and they thought it was O.J. Simpson. Maybe he was murdering someone else again, And it was left and right, and then he was let go, wasn't he?
Yes. Oh, he was fired. Summarily fired. But he was on.
But God bless him for that, because it's hysterical. That's Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
It's like.
Can we play we're getting far off a field. Should we?
I hate when we get far off a field.
Far off a field. It's a long clip. It might be too long for the show. Anyway, if you're we
can do it after the show.
Yeah, we'll do it after the show. But there's a clip on YouTube of Norm Macdonald as a guest on Conan O'Brien's show. And Danielle, I know where you're going with this. Don't like Conan. But on the show, his special guest is, first it was Norm, and then Norm had to move over for Courtney Thorne-Smith, who was promoting a movie that she was in with Carrot Top at the time. And
just don't give it. We'll watch.
It's Courtney Thorne-Smith and Norm Macdonald on Conan in 1997.
Yeah,
It's like a 7.5 minute video. We don't have to play it, but if you want to see something just brilliant, Norm Macdonald, go out to YouTube and take a look at that clip.
We'll have a couple drinks and a shot, and we'll watch it after the podcast. Yeah.
So, moving on, we've got a couple other things to take care of because we're now like 32 minutes into an hour-long second half.
But speaking of jokes, real quick, we did have a comment on the first half that Don Zuziak from work had a question for Danielle. And as you might know, Nick, I have a tendency to also spread my dad jokes around work.
Yes, I'm aware.
Thank God he ended up with dad jokes.
He doesn't tell them to me typically, which I'm thankful for.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I know. He'll always come to me like, hey, so I told so-and-so and so-and-so, oh, what do you call a warm Pop-Tart? Oh, such and such. And I'm like, okay.
That would have been much better if you actually hadn't remembered the joke.
No, of course, I don't know any of them.
But yeah, she wanted to know if I torture Danielle with the dad jokes as much as I do with people at work. And yes, Dawn, yes, I do.
Always.
As a matter of fact, there's a book of dad jokes sitting on our ottoman that.
If you just burn that.
Yeah, Danielle, burn it.
Yeah, just burn it.
She was the one that got it for me.
Yeah, buy it for him, regret it, burn it. That's how that works.
Yep. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry you can't find that. The sentiment of you buying it's still there.
Yeah, it mysteriously disappeared.
So, just wanted to cover
All right, moving on. Gentleman's agreement. Danielle, I want to start with you because you have been away for a long time, but you did, and now you're back. But you did before you left.
You did before you leave.
Before you left.
Try to make it before you were here.
You were supposed to watch the Ronda Rousey story.
I did.
And would you like to give us the review of this story?
Yes.
Yeah, you weren't happy about
No,
getting this.
because I
course
don't
not.
like
Which
her.
which is why I can't wait.
Which is weird because your
It's-
significant other likes her.
because he is
obsessed is a
It's
kind
more
word.
of the
Do you think she's
So,
prettier
did you,
than me?
first of all, did you watch the whole thing?
ugly. I did.
And your thoughts?
It wasn't bad. It was very interesting just to kind of learn like more like of her backstory and how she got into everything and like her parents and just like her life in general before she started fighting. I mean, it wasn't bad. It didn't make me like her more.
That's what I want to hear. Sing it,
So,
sister.
Did it?
I like respect her for like what she does, but I don't have any more
I
feelings
respect
of
you,
like
but I still don't like you.
liking her.
Because
Now-
she's ugly, right?
She is ugly.
When it was a documentary, right?
Yes.
When did the documentary end? Did it end like right when she left the UFC?
I'm trying to remember. I watched it so long ago. But no.
Was it a happy ending?
Oh boy.
I wish it was.
Well, I'm assuming if Danielle was watching Ronda Rousey, it was pretty much a happy ending.
He wasn't there.
Oh, you
I
were
watched it when he
Just
was at
like
work.
Funko.
you were rousing by yourself.
Yeah.
You were A-Rousey'd alone.
I
Oh.
was not aroused at all.
I'm gonna say episode title contention right there.
A-Rousey'd?
Could be a good one.
A-Rousey'd
Not aroused
alone?
at all.
Rousey'd alone. A Rousey'd at
It
home.
might be.
But I mean, like, she was, they thought she was going to be a boy because she has two older sisters. She was.
But she was born a girl.
Right, but they thought
So
she
they
was going to
pretty
be a boy.
from the beginning they knew, okay, not a boy.
They were going to name her.
Is she a girl now?
Ron. That's why her name
Once
is
she was
Rhonda.
born, were they still like, no, I'm not sure yet. Let's just hold on.
No, they were.
Let's give
I think
about
they were
4 years.
hoping that she was going to be a boy. And
That she was
a
going to
girl,
turn like magically into a boy.
I guess. I mean, I don't think they knew the sex before.
Not
she
that
was
there's
born.
anything wrong with that.
What's going on
Oh
here?
my God.
What is this thing?
Ron, what's going on, man?
Ron
I think that's her dad's name. Though, is
Rousey. Ron Rousey.
Yeah.
Dad's name is Ron.
Her dad's name was Ron.
Of course it is.
They were going to name her Ron because.
Of course they were.
But that's why
Junior.
her name is Rhonda.
Of course it is.
It's weird why she's a Ronda Rousey Jr.
But I
Right.
thought it was kind of.
It's with this Ron-DA as well.
yo, Ron, what's going on with your chest there?
I mean, I kind of laughed
The
because
chest. Oh, you want to look down here. Oh, that's
They,
something
like-
crazy.
wanted her to be a boy and were expecting her to be a boy, and I was like, she kind of looks like a boy.
Oh, uh-oh.
Wow.
Wait
So
a minute, George.
All right, this has turned into a. This is taking a dark turn.
Not a fan
So, not a fan.
of her, but
Or the
respect what she
documentary.
does.
Okay.
No, the documentary was good.
Okay. So, for a non-Ronda Rousey fan, or perhaps someone who doesn't know anything about Ronda Rousey, would you recommend it?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it was very interesting.
As a woman, did you feel some sort of like
Way.
girl power?
Yeah, because I mean, she went through a lot of shit
Yeah.
with everything to
Right.
get like where she was or
Okay.
is.
Was.
Yeah,
I guess
was.
it's pretty fair to say was.
Sorry, she got her ass kicked by.
She did. She did.
Anyways,
Corey. Corey,
not
you'll
let's
be-
not relive
you'll be
that
okay.
Like
day.
I said, it was really interesting just to kind of get more, like to know more about like who she is, where she came from, how she got to where she was.
Right.
I mean, they had never wanted girls to fight in the UFC anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. She did
So-
blaze that trail.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move now across the table over to Nicholas Bader, who had
Negative.
Who didn't watch it?
No, I did
had
not.
two things to watch.
I know. No, I didn't. And I can.
Just like you did last weekend. Have
Yeah.
two things to watch.
No, I didn't have two things to watch last weekend. I had.
We added another one.
Yeah, that's right. So I had two during this week.
Right.
But no, absolutely not. I was extremely busy. So no, I did not get it done.
Lots of kayaking.
I did no kayaking during this week, but
Kayak buying.
All right.
I'll get them taken care of in the next week.
All right, sir. Corey.
I'm going to defer to you real quick because I need to take care of something. And
Look, you can Funko whenever you want, I suppose, but not on the show.
now's the time.
Not on the show.
Little bit of a poop break.
All right, so that leaves it back to me, and I was supposed to watch Space Force, the first 4 episodes of Space Force, which I did.
Given to you by.
Cory gave me Space Force. I got to say, it was not as good as I had hoped it would be. And I'll tell you why. I actually can't tell you why. I have no idea. There's so many funny people in there. So many, like, first of all, Malkovich is brilliant as the scientist. Brilliant. Sorry, spoilers. Malkovich is in it.
I haven't seen it.
Ben Schwartz is in it.
There's a lot of people in it.
There's a lot of people in it. And Steve Carell, I mean, this should have been a no-brainer. And it probably got, I think, as I recall, because I remember hearing about it, but I never watched it until now, but I did hear about it. It seems like it got greenlit
Wait, from
like in the blink of an eye.
from Middlebury and Larry?
Yeah, Middle Edition Schwartz.
Oh yeah.
Ben Schwartz, absolutely. But yeah, I was sitting there going, I know I should be laughing. I know I should.
Were you drinking while you watched it?
No, I
Should have been.
watched 2 episodes one night, the 3rd episode the next night, and the 4th one the night after that. So it wasn't like I was in a bad mood for 4 hours, or sorry, 2 hours, and then I watched all 4. I just could not. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, like, and that's it. I can see what you're saying. Like, I liked it, but I thought it could have been funnier. They could have done more.
The fact that he walked like double speed everywhere he went was probably the funniest thing to me of the whole series. Which that should not be the thing I remember.
Right.
It should be something else. I'm sorry, man. Look, not everyone's gonna like. Look, you're about to review a movie that I recommended to you, and you may have fucking hated it.
I hated it.
I'm sure you did.
The parts I saw. I was like, I'm going to.
But I was glad I watched it because I was curious. I'm like,
Right.
Because on paper it should be a home run. Mm-hmm. But when I watched it, I was just like, I can't. I feel like this should be funnier than it is, and it just wasn't. And like I was telling Danielle, I watched those 4 episodes over the span of 3 nights, so it's not like I was in a bad mood for 2 hours. So, sorry, pal. I'm glad I watched it. It was a good pick to give to me. I wish it would have been funnier. That's all.
Oh, guess they all can't be winners.
They cannot. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready now.
All right.
I had the big sleep given by you.
Yes, sir.
So Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the most intriguing part about it to me was that it was definitely the springboard for The Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
Very evident in the first scene when Marlowe, Bogart's character, goes into the greenhouse of General, what was it?
Wonderment.
Sternwood.
Sternwood.
The
Good.
exact,
I didn't remember that. So
exact same character portrayed in The Big Lebowski
as the
as
Big Lebowski.
the actual the big Jeffrey Lebowski.
Yeah.
So that was. I'm like, okay, I can see where the Big Lebowski was brought up off this. The one thing I really couldn't get past throughout the entire movie was Bogart's 46, 47, whatever year it was that
46.
Was
yeah.
Just that stereotypical voice that was
Yeah.
I don't know if
I figured
I don't know if that was his true voice.
it was his. Yeah.
But it was definitely stereotypical of that era.
Yeah, he wasn't acting sounding like Humphrey Bogart like that. That's how he sounded.
But which was weird because like everyone else in the movie didn't seem to have that same. Like I said, it just era kind of tone to them.
But I think back then, because you could say the same thing about Lauren Bacall. Like she sounds the same in all of her movies. She's just kind of being Lauren Bacall, and she memorized the lines. But I think back then the idea of a movie star was you found someone really interesting, someone that audiences latched onto, and then you just let them be them.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. But like I said, some of the similarities as far as like Sternwood and the the Big Lebowski. Vivian Rutledge is clearly kind of Maude in the situation.
And then there's Maud.
There we go. Carmen Sternwood, the younger daughter, that she was kind of the portrayal of Bunny.
The Bunny Lebowski.
Yeah.
Susan B. Anthony.
And then, wow. And then to me, one of the biggest ones was Norris and Brant, the butler in both movies.
Yeah.
Very dry, monotone. It's like I said, you can definitely tell that they played off the Big Sleep big time when they made the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
The couple things that kind of came up that weren't even related to that came through like my mind was because I haven't seen too many movies back from that era. So like the filming process of it, like when Humphrey Bogart was driving in the car, and they actually had like an in-vehicle shot.
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, like, well, nowadays that's easy. You can easily do that because you can have a GoPro that you just attach to the windshield.
Well, and the car is on a trailer. It's not really driving anymore.
Yeah, so no problem. You can easily get that shot. So the first thing I started thinking about, I'm like, well, obviously cameras were much, much bigger and way more complicated back then.
Yeah.
Like, were they using the actual vehicle and had it mounted in the passenger seat somehow? Or was it like the shell of a car and basically just kind of split in half to have the camera equipment outside? And had I not just watched the movie last night, I would have researched that because that was very interesting to me, like how that was all done.
Right.
And even like incorporating the audio with everything, because I felt bad at a couple points. So she did go to sleep.
I never heard shit.
Shocker.
Well, but like anytime there were gunshots,
it was like 2:00.
Blown away.
There was like anytime there was a gunshot or a scream, I was oh shit, turn that down.
Yeah.
So like the audio difference in the movies back then were insanely different, which I understand. Like you can still get good theatrics and all that, know, nowadays. But that was
the sound sticks were a lot older back then.
I didn't hear anything. Just
Nothing.
well, good, but it was so yeah. Just
out.
even
Hey, Puff the Magic Dragon, are you
done over there?
Lives by the sea.
As Bob Hitt says. There you go. No, it was a great movie.
really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think again it's from not seeing so many movies from that era.
Yeah.
It's not like I would go out and watch one after the other from the 40s.
Would you say that you frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu?
Are you glad you bought it?
I am. And I'll be honest, I would have not been glad if it wasn't so correlated to the idea of the Big Lebowski and how the Big Lebowski came about.
That was the carrot.
Yes.
That kept
Oh,
you up.
absolutely. Yeah, and but I'm like, is it going to be enough to carry him through the whole movie,
Yeah, it definitely got me through the entire movie.
Okay. Because the original plot of The Big Sleep is very convoluted. The whole people loved it, except for but their big complaint was way too complicated, too many characters, too many plots, too much other stuff going on, which you can kind of see in The Big Lebowski. Like there's a lot of moving parts.
Right, but again though, going back to like the actual production of it, I could see back then doing something along those lines or of that nature would be difficult to. You can't do it as flawlessly and as seamless as you can today.
Yeah.
Especially in black and white too. It's I know that seems very minute, but in all honesty, with just being able to put color to stuff and all that, it can bring out different parts of the movie and of a character. So I think because even between like the switching of a couple of the female characters in it, when they first came on screen, it was kind of hard to tell, if it was so and so, if it was one of the Rutledge, girls, or if it was, I can't recall the name of the other female right now that was in it, but
I can't either.
So it was that I could see where it'd be kind of difficult to maintain those characters without the wonders of color TV and movies that we have today.
Part of it is you got to like mentally go, okay, what was it like to be a moviegoer in 1946? Like, what kind of movies did people like? Like, there was no Avatar, there was no Raiders of the Lost Ark, there was no Godfather with all this method acting. It was a totally different world, and so maybe people were, and their people's attention spans, 65 plus years ago, were much longer, and they actually sat there in the theater and they watched people come in. They remembered names and things like that today would be very, very difficult for people to, keep up with.
And it was at points. That is very true. But all in all,
A lot of womanizing.
That was a career back then.
There were like 2 parts that I saw, and I was like, Jesus.
A lot of dames and broads.
hell?
well, that's
Yeah.
No, the one time he
What-
pushed the like drunk or drugged out
The-
girl on the couch, like shoved her. I was like, holy shit.
Carmen Stern one when he slaps her across the face.
Yeah,
to
that.
break
There's a lot of slapping in the 40s.
to break her out of
Yes.
her high. I'm like, see, that was back
Yeah.
when you could slap a woman for being high.
Well,
Yeah.
and then he shoved her on the couch, and I was like, that was a little excessive.
Yeah, you could be high on laudanum, morphine, and a quick slap to the puss, knock that shit right out of you.
It means mouth, kids.
Bring it-
It means mouth.
That back in the 40s, that's what they said.
Yeah. I was just like, okay,
A
well.
little tincture of cocaine gum.
Yes.
Let's say even when they were singing,
Harkening back to Schnozzcast episode 48,
That's right.
when
total guess.
Miss Rutledge was singing the song in the parlor with all the guys, that something about it.
The fact that you just said parlor.
She was punched in the chops,
Makes me
and
so
she's
happy.
never looked so whatever. I'm like, oh, that's wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right in the kisser.
Yeah, women did not have a role, a position of
Anything.
equality for many, many years.
Well, I mean, I knew that,
after that.
clearly.
Come on,
But-
Danielle.
Awesome. I couldn't be happier with that. I'm glad I recommended it. So moving forward, you're out of it because you still got 2 to watch.
Yep.
Danielle, you think you're going to be here next week?
I should be.
All right. So since I gave Cory his last one, why don't you give Cory a pick, and then, well, see, we're stuck because you gave me my pick too. I'll take another. Yeah, you give one to Cory. Cory give one to me, and I'll give one to you.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All
I
right.
gotta think of something to give to you. Though.
Okay.
Anybody?
Well, my pick for you, Bob.
Yeah.
I've been hanging on to this, and well, actually, you know what? I'll hang on to that one for one more episode.
Hanging
I
on.
know.
All right.
Let's go with The Bridge on Amazon Prime.
The Bridge. Is it a movie? Is it a?
It is a documentary.
Oh, is this about the Golden Gate Bridge?
Correct.
Oh, thank you. But I've been thinking about that.
And
I've heard of that.
and not to give any spoilers, but the one thing I do ask of you,
There's a bridge in there?
there is a no. Do watch this from beginning to the very, very end.
I will. Oh, you mean like post credits?
Not even post credits, just to the end of the actual.
No, I'll watch the whole thing.
Yeah, why wouldn't
I'm
you?
good like that.
comes-
I'm not like some people who watch only like 10 minutes and they
I only watched 45.
Only the first thing.
I only watched
there
45
was
minutes of Turn.
At
and then
least
I had to
2
stop
of
it.
Nick's and 1
no,
of mine.
I watched.
Yeah.
Oh no, Turn. I
Yeah,
didn't like.
no, you're right.
It
Yeah.
was bad.
Rest my case.
So yes,
All right.
The Bridge.
Danielle, you got one for Cory, or you want me to go?
I think so.
You think you got one?
Yeah, he probably won't like it by earlier.
Perfect.
Watch Dead to Me.
Oh, is that that's a
It's on Netflix.
show, right? Is that Ted Danson?
No, it's Christina Applegate.
Oh, my bad.
I watched it, Cory. It was good.
All right.
Dead
I feel like girls would like it a lot
to-
more, but
Oh,
it's,
absolutely.
but
Girls
it's
like it
still
more.
it's still
Thank
really
you.
good. I actually recommended it to my sisters, and they were, "Oh, what was that show that you were talking about in the podcast? What was it called with Callista Flockhart?" And I'm like, "Dead to Me." So they
It's
watch it.
really
They're like,
good.
"Oh my god, this was amazing!" I'm like,
Yeah, I just finished the second season.
Fair enough.
"Yeah, it's tolerable, Cory, for sure."
It's tolerable. Oh, it's tolerable.
Yeah, it's not like Skoonja Boonja or whatever Bob gave me.
What?
What?
That British show about the women.
Fleabag?
Yeah,
Scoocha Booja?
yeah.
What the hell you're talking about? All right, Danielle, I got a couple of things here. I'm just trying to figure out which one of them is actually available for you to stream.
Okay.
Or if you have to buy it. And if it turns out that neither of them are, then I guess you're just going to have to pony up the cash.
Pony up. Tell Cory to get out that chase card.
Oh, you know what? I own this one, so I can give it to you. All right, so you're going to watch Boyhood.
Boyhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I have it. So Cory, when you taxi cab me home tonight, just remind me and I'll run in and grab it for you.
Oh, I'm sure I'll remember that.
Danielle will.
Oh, well,
yeah, I'm
probably.
not talking. I should have been talking to her.
I'm
I
sure
know.
you both will remember.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like,
All right, man.
no.
Love you, brother. Yeah, I love you too.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. All right, we're about 55 minutes, Cory. So you think we can get a quick pick of the weekend before we bring it to a close?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Danielle? Oh, you got one?
I don't think I have.
I'll
one.
jump in. I got one.
Go ahead.
I had actually watched. There's 5 seasons of this show, but I'd only known about 4 of them. And so when HBO Max went live, I happened to be like thumbing through, going, "What is on this service?" And I saw that there was a 5th season. I'm like, "Holy shit! I didn't realize there was a 5th one." So the show is called Luther,
Okay.
and
Heard of it.
it's Idris Elba. It's a very distinctly British show. It's on HBO Max. You may be able to find it elsewhere, but I know it's on HBO Max. He's in London. He's a DCI, which I believe is it's a detective
Constable.
detective chief inspector.
Ah, goddamn it.
DCI Luther is what he goes by, but it's he's very much like he's got problems, but he's a brilliant DCI, and it's very British in its portrayal of criminals and masterminds and all that sort of stuff, but there's a lot of plot that like span the whole season, and also plot points that span multiple seasons. So and Idris Elba's fucking badass.
All right.
So high recommendation from me. If you've got HBO or if you're able to stream it elsewhere, I'll have to take a look and see if it's available anywhere else. But Luther, my pick.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Also, wait a minute. It's on Amazon Prime and Hulu.
What?
Luther.
Oh yeah.
So you can watch it for free.
Oh, you thought you were talking about your
Yeah.
pick or your gentleman's agreement?
No. You I'm gonna just remember when you drop me off. I'll
Okay.
give it to you.
My pick. So, Unsolved Mysteries, the original with Robert Stack, was always a favorite TV show of mine, and I never ever thought that without Robert Stack, the show would be anything. And recently, Netflix has come. No, was it Netflix or
Yes.
Amazon? Yeah, Netflix has come out with a brand new series of Unsolved Mysteries, clearly not featuring Robert Stack.
Featuring the skeleton of Robert Stack.
That'd be really scary, though, still.
It'd be an unsolved mystery how they got Robert Stack on the show.
Well, unless they brought out the ones he solved.
They would just exhume him.
I don't think he ever really solved any of them.
What?
Dun, 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 dun,
I think
dun, dun,
they
dun, dun.
did.
Yeah.
No, they did updates. But
Update.
But he never actually solved any of them.
Well, he didn't do
Well,
any
clearly.
solving. He was too busy telling Stryker how to fly the plane.
But the new series, not featuring Robert Stack, is actually quite entertaining. And
I've heard of
Who? Don't leave us in suspense. Who is the replacement for Robert Stack?
that's where they made a brilliant move. They didn't replace Robert Stack. They've just left him.
If
out
you
of
say
it.
a fucking killer robot,
No, that's why I wish I could.
I make him over there and punch you in the face.
No, they've completely left any sort of narrator out of it. There's no host of the show. There's no, like I said, overlying narration. It is literally just
Sounds like a home run.
Well,
it's literally the only way they could do it and make it successful, not having Robert Stack anymore.
So who is explaining what you're watching?
It's almost like if you were to just read something in your own head. They just come out with the stories.
The funny thing is that Cory loves this, and there was a whole article about the opposite of this, saying that it was not going to be successful because the one thing that made Unsolved Mysteries different from watching Forensic Files or murder mysteries or anything like that, or any other dime a dozen investigation discovery shows, was that you had a host filling in the blanks, letting you know what's going on. And they said Unsolved Mysteries really shit the bed on this, because they said, yeah, he was big shoes to fill. Now, granted, I watched it as well, and it's awesome. I think it's amazing, mostly from the nostalgia aspect of it.
Right.
But they said that the host bridged the connections. So what I didn't know was that after Robert Stack, they brought it back with another host. And
it was a female host.
Yeah, it was a female host.
Roberta Stack?
And like
it did shit the bed.
In 2006 or whatever, they stopped it. And it went off the air. So this article that I read stated that basically you have family members filling in the blanks. It's a lot of interviews. It's a lot of lengthy interviews with family members.
Okay,
Well,
that makes sense.
This was the guy that was murdered. This was his bed. This was he always jogged in the morning. He always did this. And they said it's kind of like a lot of useless, redundant information that you don't need to know. I mean, you see the family crying and stuff, and the family's filling in the blanks. But it said it didn't set it apart from other ID shows like Unsolved Mysteries paved the way. And when you had those questions in your head, Robert Stack used to answer those questions, because he would be narrating and he would say, this is what's going on and all this stuff. And you didn't have to think. You didn't have to, oh, I wonder what happened with this, or why am I looking at what his favorite pillow was? I don't care about that, So their interpretation of it was that it's not going to be successful. That's where they really fell through. Maybe down the road they're going to find a host. But anyhow, I'm sorry, continue. So if you don't bring this up, I have one other thing about that. So go ahead.
No. I mean, to me though, and I understand, where a lot of viewers like that are coming from, and I would say a lot of those people never really watched the original Unsolved, Mysteries fully, or really knew it fully with Robert Stack. Because I said to me there's just no replacement for him. So the format that they're doing it now, I think, it's not going to go anywhere near as long as with Robert Stack, or however long that series lasted.
Right.
It definitely will not do that. But it is, I think, to me, it's enough to be semi-successful.
Okay.
And have a decent run. Not like I said, not it's not going to be running 20 years or anything like that. But I like it, and I like the format that they're using.
Okay.
Again, 2 years of it might be too much, but I do definitely like it.
So they're only doing 2 years?
I don't know. That was just a number I came up with.
Because someone immediately said that it's already off the air. I'm like, it just aired on Netflix, and I can't find anything that affirms that.
Maybe it's just a limited run, and they're trying to gauge the audience.
So the thing I wanted to bring up was that, one, they have many of the original writers from Unsolved Mysteries writing this.
Okay.
2, they use all the same music, but it's been remastered with a new title,
you can tell.
new title intro, so that all the key, like, really eerie parts of the Unsolved Mysteries sounds they have, and they even end it with that. They end it with, someone will be talking and they'll say, so we just, it's been 5 years or 20 years and we still don't know what happened to my brother. And then all of a sudden it'll go, dun, 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 and it'll say, if you know where the whereabouts of so-and-so, so-and-so. And they put that, they say, please go to unsolved.com. And so that's the cool interactive aspect that Unsolved Mysteries always had, which was amazing in the 80s, because it was like a talk show on the radio, or a radio show where you called in.
Right.
And we don't have that nowadays. So this is a cool avenue that they took to go to the website and fill in on on any kind of tips, which they already said there's many of the first couple episodes that they've already got a ton of tips on.
Wow.
That's awesome, man.
And updates. But the coolest thing I thought was as an homage to Robert Stack.
Oh, okay.
The whole main intro, dun, 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 and then they do the whole thing, and it's bits and pieces of the original song, but very remastered. And the last little bit before they flash away, it's like 4 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, is a background silhouette of Robert Stack's face.
Okay.
And it's almost to the effect that you can't even tell who it is. But just by his bone structure, it's just like almost like a ghostly figure in the background. And it's his entire face takes up the screen, and then it goes away.
Give her a pinch on the arm.
Falling asleep over there?
And I thought about it, and I was like, that would be awesome. But I mean, it's to the effect where you're like, is that him or is that just like an image? And then I read up on it, and they said that's the one hit out of the park thing that they did was, as a tribute to him at the end, they put a silhouette of him in the background.
I mean, he made the show, so.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. I would probably, if we were spitballing it and it was on the table and we were the writers of Unsolved Mysteries and the producers, I would say, hey, we've done the secondary host.
Yeah.
No one can fill these giant shoes. Let's go a different route. We cannot replace this guy. But to me, I always thought that the Allstate guy, the black guy with the super deep voice.
Oh, he was on 24. Dennis
Yeah,
Haysbert.
I think he could really do a good job. I think you need a commanding kind of
Eventually. Yeah, eventually.
an eerie kind of voice. I think given this climate and everything going on right now, I think he'd do a really good job.
Like I said, I could see bringing a host back eventually. I'm glad they decided to do the run without a host.
Right.
Here's a question. Do you remember the Unsolved Mysteries phone number?
Oh, God, no.
You'd say, if you or anyone you know could help solve a mystery, call 1-800-876-5353.
Wow.
That was the number.
Okay. Is it the same number now? With the
No, it's just the website.
Yeah, I was saying
Go to
they don't
have a
unsolved.com
number anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, people still have phones.
What?
More people have phones than have internet access, so.
True.
Could you imagine a constant 24-hour group of people listening for this call line, like all the time for this show?
According to the old Unsolved Mysteries, they did.
I know they did.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Did you do a review or a best or a pick of the week for your hammock?
No.
Okay,
No,
that's going to be mine.
Go ahead.
It's Vivari, right? Vivare?
Vivare. Yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Vivare.
Fragile.
It must be Italian.
So yeah, Bob turned me onto this. Kudos to Bob. The Vivare or Vivari. This says Vivere. Either way,
Potato.
You can find it on Amazon. Double cotton stitched hammocks.
Double stitched.
Oh.
Yeah. With
I knew I went wrong with my single stitch hammock.
Oh, you sucker.
Comes with welded steel stand and 450 pound capacity. Carry bag with leather trim. Really, really well made.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things you can do with it. They literally have 40.
You can sit in it. You can lay in it.
You can sit sideways.
You can fall
lay.
out of it.
Anyhow. 40 different colors and stitch patterns. It's not just like something printed where they put like dye on it. It's all stitched together. Like,
Or an American flag.
oh, that'd be nice. But
You can't lay on the American flag.
Missed opportunity, Vivare.
But they're really cool. Bob turned me on to it. Like I said, they're really well put together. They're normally several $100s. I got in on some kind of weird deal on this color, and it was like $95. And
Like off a truck.
Bob's like, yeah, I paid way more than that.
Yeah, I did.
I think it's the same one I have too.
But I've gone out to look
If
at.
you say you paid even less than Nick, I'm going.
She
to
did
punch
pay even
Cory.
less than
I
Nick.
did
I'm gonna
because
punch
it was
Cory in the face.
It was a Christmas gift.
But
Oh.
I'll go out here and say that
But I
I've been
think it was not less than Nick's, actually.
gone out and laid out in my backyard and watched the comet and had a couple drinks in it, and it's already paid for itself. So
Have you Funkoed in it yet is the question.
I don't Funko in anything.
That is a shame, sir.
But that's
You
it
got
for
to treat
me.
yourself right, buddy.
Vivari.
Learn how to live.
And that's episode 83 for Schnozzcast. So let's bring it to a close. Good night, everybody. Nick?
Good night, everyone. Be good to yourselves and each others. We'll see you next time.
Cory?
See you on the next episode. Good night.
Danielle?